That's perfect. I've already put in the message Discord, so we're ready to go.
Bit of stuttering there. Weird. Mangler?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay, just making sure you didn't DC again.
Yeah, so I'm just checking something. Oh, that's weird.
What?
Just trying to do something on Discord. It's not working.
Are you on the Xbox Discord or?
No, I'm on phone. Phone's being a little weird. Anyway, back to stream. Stream time.
Yes, welcome back.
Check those.
Oh. Paused it.
Okay. Do I have... I don't have level 3 Corrupted Angel or Spectral Angel. This would be very useful. Okay, I do have Phantom Guard. Phantom Guard is nice.
Mangler, explain why Paul
Fortunately,
sucks. I know you know who it is, don't deny it. Hello, Rocket and I'll Pimp Demon.
I actually don't know who Paul is.
Damn.
Unless we're talking about the Paul from Tekken. In which case, I don't know if he sucks.
Oh yeah, I
Alright,
got.
we're back. So it's... I'm sorry, what?
No, I was gonna say, oh yeah, I got homework I gotta take care of later today. I really should do those a little earlier.
Paul, Spider-Man's worst villains. There's a villain named Paul?
No, I think that's the guy who married MJ and like has kids with her from the alternate dimension.
I never read that comic, nor do I care. Oh wait, is that the person that like Spider-Man fans got like super fucking butthurt about because they were like, "Oh yeah, no." I can understand why you said that now. That's just pettiness in a physical form.
That's not pettiness, it's just facts.
All right. I mean, if you don't like MJ being with Peter like for the rest of like time, then you know. Maybe you should petition Marvel Comics to, I don't know, make it like a singularity throughout the multiverse that MJ will always be with, like, Peter Parker or something. Or, alternatively, you could just ask him to stop making Spider-Man comics and just give him a happy ending, like he fucking deserves.
I'm surprised.
But we both know you won't do that.
I'm surprised Marvel hasn't just retired some of their older characters at this point.
They really should have. They need to know when to put the pen down.
Oh, apparently not. Apparently that's not allowed.
I mean, technically that's more of like a comics thing in general. DC is the same problem.
I think DC has more retired heroes than fucking Marvel does, though.
They do, I think, because they've been going on a little longer. But DC at least tries to reboot itself. It doesn't continue it, so...
I cannot be defeated.
Well,
if anyone's gonna fuck MJ, it's gonna be Osborn. The fuck? You know, I just have to say for the record.
Are you going to do this all day?
If Moloch is strong enough to fight 2 out of the 4 horsemen, I genuinely wonder how Samael was able to confirm he had a blood pact. He seems pretty strong on his own.
He is.
Die by my hand.
He is worthy. One of the few times he's actually worthy of being the final boss of a game.
Does Darksiders even have any, like, bad final bosses?
I just mean in general, like, it seems to be a common trope with a lot of these games that just, like, final bosses are not really as threatening as they should be.
I don't think Darksiders has ever really suffered from that problem, unless you mean, like, health pool wise.
No, so I don't mean Darksiders in particular. I just mean, like, a lot of series in general have this. Because, yeah, Abaddon was pretty solid. Absalon was solid, though. Absalon could be cheese due to, like, a lot of the RPG systems and, like, side content.
Yeah.
Envy could too, but it was harder to grind in Darksiders 3. You can technically cheese Moloch as well, but it's also very hard to grind in that. Whereas in Darksiders 2, it's kind of, like, somewhat easy.
You know, strong on the 4 horsemen, not Ren. Wow.
Why you guys gotta throw shape like this?
Are you going to do this all day?
Hey, look, Samael, if you got a fucking problem with it, bro, you can step in and help out.
No, seriously.
Is inevitable.
Also, so I figure out what his problem is here. So Moloch will summon the crystals, and then he'll throw his hand down to detonate them. And he basically uses them as projectiles to cover his area, but then he'll also use them as traps if you're near them. Like, he'll detonate them to basically cover his back and his front. So you have to destroy them with a Tremor Gauntlet.
Ah, I see. Anyways, fucking...
He's beneath you.
Yeah, so hopefully today I'll finish or get close to finishing the subtitling for the other side video, and then it'll just be a simple matter of adding all the scans that need to be added.
My rage unleashed. Do get on with it. Shall we continue?
Then after that I have to... Oh, Mangler's dead.
I fucking hate that attack. It's so bullshit.
At least you don't have to, like, at least you're not that far away from the start of the fight.
No, I'm not. I went there much faster. I think I got him down there in like 2 minutes. As opposed to like the 10 minutes before. My damage is literally like 120 points higher. So I am doing like roughly 50% more damage than I was doing before.
It still looks like fucking nothing though.
It looks like nothing, but I can actually see the difference.
Yeah, and then I have to decide if I want to get the Fallout New Vegas or the Fallout guidebooks or art books or not. Because I don't know if I can just find power armor scaling in the lore rather than actually grabbing a guidebook for it. Because I'm pretty sure there's gotta be like fucking files and audio tapes on fucking power armor somewhere in Fallout's lore. I doubt it's just like fucking in the guidebooks.
Are you prepared to play all 5 of the games?
Hell
over
no!
again? You're telling me you don't have a several 100-hour commitment ready? Including the time it would take between you doing all the games to catalog the information.
Fuck. Dude, that's not even a several 100 hours. It would take me like a whole month of non-stop playing a Fallout game to fucking get all that information from actually playing the game.
I know.
And that's not, and that's for Fallout 3 and fucking, there's 1 and 4 Zims, but given how you think Fallout 4 power armor is different, well. Listen here, you little shit. Unless the lore states otherwise, there is never a good reason to assume that Fallout fucking 4's power armor is the same as the others. It literally runs on batteries, for God's sakes. And also, to be clear, I think it's the only set of power armor that can allow you to fight dead claws with relative ease. The others don't do that.
Relative ease, he says, is they would rip me to shreds.
Isn't like the whole point of Fallout 4, like when you first get power armor, you fight a death claw and it can't even really do shit to
Yeah,
you?
yeah. It's another reason why I argue that they're generally superior because in Fallout 3, they specifically point out that the Brotherhood outcasts get trashed by the Death Claws. Because when you go to what's it called? What's the place? Um, it's
The
the Oasis.
yes.
When you go to the Oasis, the Brotherhood outcast that's there tells you that how he got there was that he was running a Brotherhood patrol in the wasteland and he ran into a Deathclaw and it basically shred his armor. And he can give you his armor depending on how you perform in one of the quests, depending on which like ending you choose. But basically, he indicates that like yeah, the Deathclaw was like way too much for my P45 power armor. And then Fallout 4 comes along, and the Brotherhood of Steel in like the T60s can directly fight Deathclaws, something that they previously couldn't. And the Outcasts just have the same armor, except it's just painted red. So we
I
have
would
to assume, even
uh,
if it's a different model, that they'd be strong enough to fight them.
I would have to double check the model numbers. I think you're just wrong.
I mean, they even have like, well, I don't know if they have the T45s, but they have the T51s in the game. You can downgrade to a T51 if you like.
Wait. You tell me T-51's in fucking Fallout 4. It just works the exact same way as the T-60.
It literally looks exactly the same as the T51 does originally.
Well, yeah, because isn't that brought in
You,
from the New York Brotherhood?
um,
Or not New York, DC. Because isn't that like
yes, but keep in mind the Western Brotherhood also has access to 51s. Because as the Mojave shows, they basically the Mojave chapter in Fallout New Vegas has access to
I'm
51s.
pretty sure the Mojave chapter is like 53s. Granted, that'd be better technically, but like I'm pretty sure they're running T-53s, and I think
If you look
T-51
at them, they
Ts.
look almost exactly the same as a 51.
Well, yeah, because all the power armors look the fucking same. I think the only difference is
Well, yeah,
color
but
scheme.
they're
Because even
wearing
the Operation
they're
Anchorage
wearing the
armor doesn't look
winterized.
different.
Well, have you seen the winterized T51 power armor in Fallout 3?
Yeah, that's the Operation Anchorage one. That one doesn't look all that different,
It looks exactly the same. It's just the same model.
bro. Yeah, no.
Okay,
So
there we go.
So I'm gonna have to figure. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure the Courier's best feat for scaling is just going to be fucking the Brotherhood of Steel. I think everything else is gonna be minimalistic or not just direct AP. Unless, well, no, because if Power Armor can fight Death Claws, arguing that the Courier can fight Death Claws would be a lesser feat because the Power Armor should be stronger.
Yes and no, because he can technically fight an entire nest of Death Claws, and he can fight the alpha male Death Claw. So
Okay,
you'd have to
okay.
assume
So,
he's
so
stronger than regular power armors.
I'm covering all DLC and just all of Mr. House's quest line. I don't know if the Alpha Deathclaw is that from the Lonesome Road or no.
Oh no, that's in base.
Are you talking about the quarry then?
Yes, the alpha male Death Claw is in the quarry.
Oh yeah,
It's
that'd be
outside Sloan.
no. That I mean, yeah, that'd be fair game because I'd have to argue for like every possible position, and technically one position is that the courier wakes up and goes through the quarry to get to New Vegas.
I mean, even if you say he got stronger before he got there and it was an in-game courier, he's still killing an entire nest of Death Claws by himself. And he's not just killing an entire nest of Death Claws, he's killing every single type of Death Claw. He's killing baby Death Claws. He's killing, like, teen Death Claws. He's killing regular Death Claws.
I
He's killing
see
alpha
no
males.
god here except for me.
Like, he killed every... He's just like, I'm going to wipe out your entire, like, every generation you have here. I'm going to kill all of them.
T45, T51, T60, and XO1 power armor exist in 4? Do they? Damn it. I had to
They
check and see how
do.
the power armor performs in those games then because Technically, it's the most
Exo
recent
One
lore.
is Exo One is basically like the equivalent of like an Enclave armor
Well, that's what I'm assuming,
in
yeah.
comparison to the regular one.
Yeah, because the Enclave had their special Tesla coil armors. So, Mangler, are you saying the courier did Anakin? Probably. I mean, he
Are we
technically did.
using the Death Claws as the fucking younglings in this example? Because I feel like that's a little.
I was promised victory.
I didn't even use Chaos Form.
Blade is no match for mine. Go on, horseman.
Got him.
Cut off his miserable head. You've played right into his hands, horseman. I tire of demons and their threats. There are no more threats to make. Lucifer's plan is complete.
Complete? How?
You should be wary of the company you keep. Isn't that right, Samael? Have you told that demon would not shut up?
Yeah. Who knows what he might have said next? I think you do, Samael.
What is the Animus?
The Animus?
Hiding. I suppose
Yes, I was secretly the world's greatest Assassin's Creed fan the entire time, but Mullock was going to reveal my truth to the world.
Isn't the whole position that
Now
like
you
Samael
know.
isn't like the whole position Samael takes in this game is just that like I don't want to help him, I just don't go out of my way to try and stop him.
Wait, who?
Samael's position, because he knows about what Lucifer's plan actually was. He could have stopped it and told them earlier about it.
Sort of? Well, he's more so like, I don't care. I don't care what Lucifer is doing. But Lucifer did, because Lucifer involves Mullock in his schemes, and Mullock tries to come after Samael. Samael's like, well, I didn't care, but you sent Mullock to my doorway, so now I do care. You probably shouldn't have done that.
Samael, you've been lying to us this whole time. Nonsense. I simply omitted some inconvenient truths. But I will tell you now everything I know. A small penance to repay your service to me.
This better be a short story.
After the Nephilim were destroyed, Lilith came to me.
Lilith! Of course she'd have some hand in this.
She was mad with grief, seeking my aid in orchestrating vengeance upon the Council, against you, horsemen, for your part. Most of all, against the human.
No, there's no Enclave armor. Enclave is superior in general. Oh yeah, that's why there's always so fucking few of them.
All others.
And you caved.
I turned her away. I respect the balance after all, and I'd rather not have the Council meddling in my affairs. A lesson which, to my great enjoyment, my rivals have learned with amusing finality. All save one.
Lucifer.
Yes. Lilith found him eagerly waiting, with hateful schemes to rival her own. Together they created the Animus to corrupt mankind. The Animus is a dark, seductive influence filled with malice and greed. To fuel the Animus, Lucifer struck a deal with the Masters, granting each of them power at a heavy price.
Don't the brother still programmed for you?
Fools agreed, believing they would be invincible. He made the same offer to me. Can you imagine the nerve?
What was the price, Samael?
Their souls to be claimed upon death.
This whole time we've been helping Lucifer. And you knew?
Samael, what have you done? My hands are clean, horseman. You acted on the Council's orders.
He never lied. He just simply
set you on your course.
didn't
Can you blame
answer
me
the
for
questions that they should have been asking.
dead along
Well, to be
the way?
fair, I don't think they ever assumed demons will be that stupid.
You
Yeah, that sounds like a them problem.
Another time, perhaps.
I would say that if we're
I
talking
promised you
responsibility,
Lucifer,
Samael is
and I
responsible for
will
the events of
send you to
Genesis.
him if
Because
you
the fact that
wish.
he failed, because he says he respects the balance, but then he's like, yeah, I mean, I do, and Lucifer should pay. I agree with that, but I also want my competitors out of action.
Well, the
So
problem is
I'm
that
just going to kind
like,
of conveniently omit that.
well, I mean, they have to die somewhere. It's not their fault they were hated by the creators and can't join the faction table. I still find it bizarrely odd how NCR and Brotherhood somehow won against the Enclave. Mangler, did you say them problem or Zim problem? Because I heard Zim problem. Guys, not everything's a my problem. Now,
Moloch spoke true, for perhaps the first time in his miserable life. Lucifer's work is done.
well, I'll just
He
never
has found
understand like the lore
humanity's
reason why
beloved
Lucifer wasn't
world.
immediately killed by the Horsemen afterwards.
Using the Animus, he has corrupted them.
If I recall correctly, he's not really physically there.
Are you really telling me that the four horsemen couldn't find his ass in like a week?
I never said that.
Farewell.
No, it's just such a weird fucking like anticlimactic end of the story. Like you don't even see him.
What now? Humanity's fate is for the Council to decide. Not us. We helped Lucifer create this.
Impressive, aren't they?
Speak of the devil.
The life these creatures knew before was meaningless. Whispering stories into the fire, searching the stars for answers to their pathetic existence. I am the answer. See how quickly they adapt? Now that their eyes are open, they feel everything their creator denied them. Fear, hatred, lust. Perhaps now they will create a third kingdom to be reckoned with.
How far has it spread?
By now, who can say? Will you kill us all? To be sure.
Run, boy. As far from the village as you can.
Oh. So yeah, Lucifer's never really there. Not really.
No, he's not a
He's just
child.
possessing.
Yeah, just possessing the child's body.
No, he was just possessing the child's body.
Oh, isn't there supposed
Oh,
is there supposed to be another credits at the end of it?
that's a check.
Well, there's supposed to be one more cutscene, isn't there? Where like the council's like, all right, to prevent this from happening, we're gonna create the Seven Seals.
No, the Seven Seals were created specifically to stop the endless warring between, uh, what's it called? Fucking, um, heaven and hell. That was created at the beginning of time.
Yeah, but there
That
is a
was made
fucking
way. Yeah,
there's
but
supposed
this
to be
is
a
way
cutscene here,
before.
right? That's supposed to be like the council's like, hey, stop fucking with humanity or something.
Probably. I don't remember.
Anyways, no, so yeah, thankfully I know New Vegas like the back of my hand. I've played practically the game. I think I've replayed it the most out of any game I've owned.
Don't let the Brotherhood of Steel propaganda fool you. What Brotherhood of Steel propaganda? The idea that they have better armor than the Enclave? Yeah, no, that's bullshit. If they ever said, well, actually, no, they don't even. I don't even know if they agree with that because they're just like yeah, that Enclave power armor. Ugh. The Outcasts for sure don't. They get excited whenever you bring them Enclave power armor. They're like, oh, Hellfire armor? Hell yeah!
They say that like
They
there's
get
any
like giddy.
meaningful difference. They all die the same
I mean,
way.
I'm checking. I'm checking the stats, and there is.
There's like what, like a 2% armor value difference?
Well, the Tesla armor does. For the Hellfire armor, it is, and they have like way better fire resistance.
Why
Not
the
to
fuck
mention,
would I
I don't
care
think
about
it's as
fire
heavy.
resistance?
Well, when you're fighting, or when you're fighting certain factions, you might want to have to deal with flamers,
Bruh.
especially in Fallout 3, because there's literally an area in Grey Ditch where you fight like an entirely mutated like colony of fire ants, and Hellfire armor just walks right through them.
Who was the worst villain, Zim, in New Vegas? Okay, worst villain? Okay, so including the DLCs. Oh, hang on. Are we talking worst as in like bad, or are we talking worst as in like worst character? Because if we're talking
How the
worst,
hell did anyone make Frank Corgan? Trying to
Mangler? Mangler, you there? Hello?
Oh, seems
Yeah,
we lost him.
yeah, I can hear you. Sounds the best. I hate how easily Hellfire armor was to get. Yes. Yeah, so if we're talking worst if we're talking like worst written villain, I'm gonna say it's Sultan Wounds from the Honest Hearts DLC. Because you never get a chance to interact with him or talk to his clan or anything. So he's just like a random fucking savage who you can choose to put down or not. I think the only time you ever talk to him is at the very end where he tries to beg you to let the Burn Man spare their people.
I always kill salt upon wounds. I've never, every time I've gone through there, the 2 times I've played, I've just been like, listen, it doesn't matter what route I take. If I have to fight you, you die. There
So
is no third outcome.
there's also never a way to avoid the fight with him because even if you try and escape Zion, they try and stop you.
I don't think you can talk him down with charisma either,
You can't. You
if I'm not
cuz
mistaken.
No, because you always find him about to be killed by the fucking Burn Man. I don't think you ever just fight him and then you get the option to spare him.
Well, so you're always like in the midst of getting everyone to the edge of what's it called, Zion, at the tunnel, and he's always there waiting for you.
Sparing him
He
like
doesn't show up sometime. There's not like a random encounter or something.
so. All sparing him does is the Burned Man gets a better ending, technically. But I would argue his endings aren't even bad. I think
I
if
mean,
you
Joshua already has a good ending anyway, and his story's over when he saves the people from Zion. I
no, that's the
think
thing.
he's satisfied with that.
That's the thing about Joshua Graham is that like even if you kill even if you let Saul Palmood die by him, I don't think any of his endings are inherently bad. They all just fit some form of like gray. I don't think there's one that I explicitly remember is just a bad ending. Because what happens is if you spare him, the ending says that Joshua still has his
Oh, there we go.
demons. Oh, there we go.
I didn't realize I could skip that. Sorry.
Strife. You have proven your worth as soldiers of the Council. May your will and service continue unwavering for eternity. Thanks to your efforts, mankind endures, though changed forever by Lucifer's plot. Culling the aggressive humans you encountered was no doubt a grim task, but necessary.
Oh, here are the other
Help
assholes.
shape the Third Kingdom. Time will tell. What humans remain must be watched closely.
Oh, never mind. It is with the 47 seals. I think that might be because the Third Kingdom is established at the time that Heaven and Hell continue their warring.
They who break it shall suffer the horseman's
Yeah.
wrath. Let our will be manifest within the seals. 3 from the
Is that Samael or is that supposed to be Lucifer?
3 from the
I think that's Samael.
below, and a
Because that's not what I don't think that's what his face looks like.
from our own wisdom.
No punishment for Lucifer.
I think it's meant to keep the balance because, like, this is the only way I can rationalize this. It's to keep the balance because if you kill off the leader of Hell, then, like, Hell's gonna become destabilized in its entirety.
Brute. Samael would be like, I'll lead Hell. I'll do it.
I hate Ulysses and I blame
I'll let...
Hazard. How can you hate Ulysses? Ulysses is great.
Alright, it's time to switch over to... Well, let me rename this stream.
I don't remember who Hazard is, but Ulysses is a great character. Ulysses is, I think fucking, I think what I really like about New Vegas, I think as a game, is that it is your story as a character, and there's actually a payoff to your life.
There we go.
Because I think one of the issues I have with Fallout 3 is there's nothing really special about you in the context of fucking Fallout 3's narrative.
The main story?
Dude, the main story is your dad abandoned your ass and went to go turn on some fucking water faucets. And oh, and I love this.
Yeah,
you
I know.
cannot escape.
He's trying to save the wasteland.
You cannot escape going into the reactor unless you got the Broken Steel DLC. So, for those of you who have not been Fallout...
That's not really a problem for people who bought the Game of the Year edition. They just have all that shit.
So, Hazard the YouTuber? I don't know who Hazard is. Oh, wait, you mean Mike... Oh, wait, you mean, Wait, do you mean Mike... Do you mean a fucking, Mike... Zach Hazard?
Well, hold on.
I'm
gonna have to...
Okay. Go play Fallout 2's him. Burnman, Grid, and Ulysses. I'm gonna give a hot take here. I think lore-wise, you can argue Ulysses will beat the Burnman in the fight.
Is he literally in the valley that's filled with, like, death claws and trappers?
Yep.
Like, how do you argue Joshua beats him? Joshua's been hanging with, like, just some normal native people that have just... Like, most of what they've just been fighting is, like, small animals and other native tribes.
Keep in mind that Joshua helped the Legion carve its path through the east, and I'm pretty sure Deathclaws are in the east. There's no doubt in my mind he's killed several Deathclaws.
But like you have to assume. Well, you probably assume that, like, what's his name, Ulysses has done the same thing. Plus, he's living in an area filled with nothing but Deathclaws and things that kill Deathclaws. Which
yes
is probably
and no.
a little bit more
so this is where it gets a little complicated regarding that situation. A couple videos show Birdman being Ulysses. What's their arguments? Oh, is this the Fabled Mercenaries game you've been wanting to play for so long?
This is the Fabled Mercenaries, yes. All right, let's see. Oh, we're turning on subtitles. Yes. Turning off vibration.
No, so like the Birdman's pretty strong, especially if you consider that he may be on par, if not slightly weaker than Legate Lanius. Although I think you can, in fact, Birdman can stun lock Ulysses multiple crits. Oh, you're talking in game. Crit stun? Wait. Crit stun the Birdman or crit stun Ulysses? I could have sworn you can't stun him like that.
It depends on your crits. At least if you have an unarmed build, you can do like paralyzing palm shit. But I don't know if.
Well, because you can't. Ulysses can't be knocked down.
Is limited. Oh, that's right. Fuck, I forgot about that.
Yeah, no.
I wasn't trying to remember if paralyzing palms count as regular crits or if they're a separate, distinctive thing.
Yeah, no. In game, I'm pretty sure Birdman can beat him because I think his weapon is actually just really fucking silly.
Oh yeah, I already have. I've already done Nilsson. So from what I understand, the way that these mercenaries work is that which one you pick gives a passive bonus, and then they have like a direct bonus with a specific faction. Because the point of this game is that you basically drop into the DMZ, I think in like the 1960 or was actually is it 1960 or is it? No, it's not 1960. It's like early 2000s, and there are various factions that are here to stop North Korea from basically launching a massive chunk of like intercontinental ballistic missiles. And currently, China, the Allies, the Russian mob for some fucking reason, and then South Korea have basically inserted themselves in the chaos. And basically, everybody except for the Russian mob is trying to stop North Korea. And depending on which mercenary you pick, they'll have different interactions. I think Chris Jacobs, has like better dialogue with the allies, so he gets further or something. He's also tankier. Mu has dialogue with the Chinese,
Even
and
though
then
she's
she's also
British.
like, well, she's her mother was Chinese, so she learned Chinese. If you read the instruction manual, they actually give you details on the skills that they have, and they confirm that she learned Chinese from her mother, and then she learned English from her dad. She's also like a stealth thing, so she's suited for stealth. And then Nilsson, apparently,
That
even
guy
though
was
he
pretty
was
good before.
Swedish, I think. I'm sorry, what?
No, go on, go on.
Yeah, so Nelson learned Russian, I believe, from either his father or someone in his family. So he works best effectively with the Russian mob. What is it? What is that thing? Something like that.
This game sounds significantly more complex than I would assume for a PS2 game.
There's a lot of PS2 games that shouldn't be as complex as they are, but they are. Also, his physical agility does mean that he actually moves faster in combat.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm gonna pick move because I've never picked move before.
All right.
So I get stealth abilities, and then I also have better communications with the Chinese faction. But I'm gonna work off of everybody.
So Zach hates
So, I'm a
Ulysses
mercenary. I play all the sides.
because he talks too much, which to be honest, he really does. Yeah, because the whole point of Ulysses is to be a philosophical counter to what you, the courier, are as a person. Because everything Ulysses says is counter designed to like literally resonate with the average Fallout player. Because you don't think about how many people you kill and the destruction you leave behind. And Ulysses literally points that out as your backstory. Your backstory is just being a normal fucking Fallout player.
He's just like, have you ever considered that you're a piece of shit? And you're like, no, impossible.
You know, it never crossed my mind. I say as I kill the Silver Guards. I think it's the Silver Rush is what it's called. Van Graff's Silver Rush, yeah. Yeah, no. The subtitles are blocking the risks versus the benefits. Who put these here?
I know. I was gonna say they're a little bit big. I just wanted
I,
the people to be able to see.
um, I mean, does he hate the Burn Man too?
It's on the bottom.
What?
I took a Coke out of the refrigerator, and my mom like loves Cokes, but she says like, don't take the ones off the top. Those are mine. Take the ones off the bottom.
Yeah, no, but I'm pretty sure in canon lore, Ulysses is probably the second strongest character in Fallout New Vegas. I think he even implies, based on dialogue, that he probably would be in Legate Lanius. Yeah, I just want to say I'm going to go bad layers him. There's no. Courier me bad. How I'm literally Patrick Bateman. I'm literally Patrick Bateman. He was a Legion's Zim. He's a
There's
hypocrite.
one great game. True. Sorry, I was confirming something else. Go ahead.
He's not a hypocrite. It's just that he was raised as a Legion member. He just learned later on in life that there was better options. Also, it kind of makes sense because lore-wise, you're canonically an NCR courier before you got shot in the head. You're lore-wise technically an NCR member. So he's courier, you're NCR.
You mean he's Legion? You're NCR?
Yes. Cause like that's why he gives you different fucking coats at the end of the actual DLC. You have I think if you get House, he gives you a Lucky 38 coat. If you pick Yes Man, he gives you a wild card coat. And I think there's 5 coats total you can get from him. Because if you're not aligned with any
He's,
faction, I think he gives you a courier coat.
he's gonna use a nuke sim. We're gonna use a nuke too. Well, no, actually, no. We're gonna stop a nuke. The opposite of that. And we continue.
You stop the nukes from firing?
In Mercenaries?
Oh no! He's talking. He's talking about fucking Ulysses. Like, in, at the end of the campaign, do you ever stop the nukes from firing? Mangler, are you there?
Oh, are you still asking? Okay. So in the nuke, in Mercenaries, you are sent in, yes, and you can stop the nukes from firing. I don't think you're given an option not to, because the entire point is to stop the North Korean military. It's just how you choose to do that is up to you. So you can interact with any of the factions to achieve that goal. All are the benefit from it, but they have different reasons. I think China wants to take the territory that the North Koreans have. They don't trust them with their facilities, and they think they're too dangerous. The Allies just want to stop them at all. Russia is basically just there. Well, actually, it's not. It's not even Russia. It's the Russian mafia. I don't know how they managed to get a presence in North Korea, but they're just there to be like, yeah, make money. We don't really
I
care
like
who
how you're
gets hurt.
saying that like they don't already have a presence in North Korea because North Korea is home to a massive amount of crime syndicates.
Well,
I like how you're
no,
saying.
I mean, like it's specifically the Russian mafia. Like they have an organized.
Yes.
If you see
No, I'm
their
vocalizing.
faction, you're going to see what I'm talking.
All right.
And then the South
You
Koreans
can
are
stop.
just there.
Yeah,
You
no. So
know,
you can stop the
problem.
nukes. So in Fallout New Vegas' DLC, you have two. You have I think four options: stop the nukes, nuke one of the individual locations, or just nuke them both. To be clear, if you actually believe Ulysses' statements at face value, nuking any of the supply lines basically sets both factions back by like decades of fucking comeback, assuming they can come back.
Hmm.
Because Ulysses' whole position with the nukes was specifically to prove that in order to kill something, you don't have to destroy it. You just have to bleed it out. The same way the courier did to the divide. So if he's right, nuking any faction basically guarantees they die.
Okay, so now I kind of sort of understand. According to the instruction manual, they basically say that Chinese intelligence scanned some of their observatories, and they were able to figure out that their ICBMs had the range to basically hit every single continent on the planet. So
How,
once they exchange
how,
this information
how do
with
you
their
know that?
allies and the rest of the world,
No. How do you know that?
well, the instruction manual.
Do you have it on you or did you look it up?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, because you just said an instruction manual, but
Yes.
you have a digital game.
Yeah,
So,
I have. No. I'm not playing a digital game. I'm playing a physical one. I
oh,
have the physical copy right here.
okay. I was gonna
Yeah.
say, what the fuck? So you saying NCR returns to Fallout 1 and 2 status? Probably. But Murder Zim, it's fun. Honestly, the NCR, I think, is practically. Real talk would probably be gone by the time fucking New Vegas ends. Because not only was the democracy a fucking sham, along with their fucking, like, government, if you burn away their supply line on the I-15, you cut them off from several resources.
Time do we have? Okay.
But Murder, it's fun, Zim. Wow.
Murder is sometimes fun. Yes.
Honestly,
Depends on the character you're playing.
New Vegas is just one of those weird games where like people will legitimately argue for every faction, except maybe Caesar's Legion for being the right one to pick. But I think some people will even pick Caesar's Legion as the better one.
Some people will pick it Caesar's Legion as being the better one for the dumbest reason, because it's like, oh, they invoke security. I'm like, yeah, at the cost of like every other part of like society functioned correctly.
I am the
I mean, yeah, I guess I'll give away my basic rights as a human being just so that like I could be protected from some raiders, which I could have gotten from like any other faction.
Yes and no. This is where it gets like this is where like some of the marriage of Caesar's Legion comes in. It's not that specifically protection. It's that the Legion is the best at it. Like, if you join the Legion, no one will touch you unless you're like a main character from Fallout.
This is true, but like the issue is that the NCR mostly does the same thing. They just don't have the social stigma associated with it. Plus, the NCR could also work with other factions to guarantee like more prosperity for the wasteland. And
No,
then
so
House just has like fucking Securitrons.
no, so the
Just be
problem
like,
with the
oh, come near my
NCR,
properties, kill you.
the problem with the NCR is that they will continuously overextend, and they don't have enough people to do what they're trying to promise.
That depends entirely on their leadership. Because
Oh,
many of the leadership positions in the Mojave disagree with how that's being presented. And if you're able to elect certain leadership, certain colonels, charge you could directly affect how they're forming their offensives in the Mojave.
no, I know because I've run the NCR campaigns. I know about like a lot of the issues of bureaucracy and stuff. But the problem is that like fucking that still doesn't change the bigger issue that the NCR has a massive overextension problem consistently.
Oh, I don't disagree. I'm just saying if we're talking the NCR route, that problem doesn't really exist because you could just choose the better options in general.
Well, it still does. Like, so you're banned. Like, for the purposes of New Vegas's events, no, like you can fix that. But the overall issue still exists. You're just band-aiding the situation. The NCR is a beast that continuously overextends and kills itself by overextending. That's literally how you convince Legate Lanius to back off. You're just like, hey, you're becoming the NCR. They overextended and they're dying off. You're gonna do the same. The only difference is that your slaves are gonna revolt. Their people won't.
I feel like that's not entirely fair because the difference between the NCR and the Legion is that the Legion doesn't give you a choice to do anything else.
Everyone
Whereas
hates
if
the
you have
cons.
money,
Yeah, fuck the cons.
The NCR is just like you money. I'm sorry, what were we talking about in armed conflict? We were talking about it. Like
The NCR is literally just, do you want the United States to come back again? Uh, Sadly, we never got a reformed Enclave faction. I never understand why the Enclave is never a faction in any of these games, because I think New Vegas at one point did have plans to have an Enclave faction, but I think Bethesda told them no.
all of
Mangler?
yes, no, I'm sorry, I'm just watching the cutscene.
Oh, okay.
I seem to forget that we're currently being artillery shelled.
You get used to it. Is this Darksiders 5 where I can finally play as the human race? No, Night Slayer. We're done with Darksiders.
Yes,
Yes.
you're correct. This is Darksiders 5.
As a Virgil main, I must pick House or Yes Man. I mean, I'll personally say that House is the best option for the Mojave in general, especially considering the fact that I think the Securitrons are probably the best armed forces you can get for the Mojave. Your only real issue with House is if you're like this like weird guy who thinks like House is like Andrew Ryan and like should be killed, you know, like certain people I know. Hey Mangler, what's up?
I think there's a bit of a difference between Andrew Ryan and House because Andrew Ryan flat out says like when he's confronted with how the plasmid business works. Keep in mind this is after he's dealt with Fontaine. It wouldn't matter if it was before. He says like I have been called upon to regulate the markets. Absurd. Have plasmids had side effects? Yes. Death, insanity, addiction, and any of these other things. Sure. But what is our place to change the market like every time there's an issue, like some kind of screaming child? And I'm like, I'm sorry, but literally anyone would regulate the market of a product if
Me
it
looking
caused
at Rapture
insanity.
being the downfall of plasmids. Ryan?
He was literally like, listen, they cause insanity, sure. They cause death, sure. But we can't regulate anything because free market will take care of it. And I'm like, okay, man. Okay, man. Like, if killing people wasn't enough to convince you, then you're not a reasonable human being.
Borja Steel also exploded.
Show me the examples.
Well,
Show me the examples of where House acts that way. Like,
Mangler,
I don't
I
think
know
House
they're all the
is
same in your eyes.
They're not. I don't recall House being that fucking like cynical.
Brotherhood of Steel also
House
exploded
at least
NCR's gold
believes.
storage bank somehow. The fuck?
I mean, House at least believes he's genuinely helping humanity. I'd argue he's wrong, but he's at least putting his fucking money where the mouth is. Ryan's just like, yeah, no, my civilization is just better, but I'm not going to explain the ways in which it is.
As Pimp Demon, I must mod Fallout games to get Enclave. Yeah, you could always download, I think, modded campaigns for like New Vegas. Like they had that really massive
Oh,
mod a while back. What the fuck are you doing to that person?
taking the. I didn't know she has a different takedown animation. That's actually pretty sick.
The older games you'll always find had way more love and care put into them than the newer stuff.
Oh, sad. And the call for extraction. Oh wait, before I do that,
NCR Brotherhood had a war. Brotherhood destroyed NCR's gold bank, which severely impacted NCR's economy. How the fuck? Oh, right, because NCR's dumbass went back to the gold standard because they used paper money. Fucking morons. Should have just stuck with the cap system. They have superpowers, Mangler, that obviously makes them superior. That is true.
suppose.
Don't ever say that word
Before I
Frontiers in
call
about
in,
New Vegas. They got Noctis's voice
before
actor to voice act in it. Lucky bastards.
before I call in an extraction, I'm gonna go take care of the some of the North Korean vehicles down there.
You're just gonna farm money, is what you mean?
Yeah, I mean they give you that's one of the main ways you earn income in this game is blowing up crap that the North Koreans own.
How can the NCR's economy be severely impacted if like they're like I don't know. Fuck, you know what the fucked up part is that if there was a nuclear fucking war, you know dipshits would go back to the gold standard immediately. It's like, bro, shouldn't this have proven that this shit is worthless?
To be honest, that's kind of the case with almost every standard in general. Any sort of post-apocalyptic situation in which we would need a form of currency, everybody's like, wait, we need to go back to gold or silver or something, some alternative to the dollar that we had before. And I'm like, if it wasn't valuable now, why is it going to be valuable in this specific circumstance?
Me casually just being like, all right, when you go back to a standard, throws a couple bottle caps. I got you.
It's like, why would you use a resource to approximate the value of currency if, like, especially in the environment, like, let's say it's a post-apocalyptic world filled with, I don't know, a fuckload of zombies, and we still need, like, money to do this. Okay, can you expect anybody to actually have access to, like, reasonable sources of, like, gold?
No,
And if not, how are you going to be able to approximate the value? Like, you need it as a standard to determine where all the other sets of currency sit in reference to it. And that's assuming you're like, hey, I want all of the currencies to exist in reference to the gold standard. Not if gold is the standard and you're talking gold exclusively, in which case you have a bigger problem because now you need to supply your economy with a currency you don't even have.
but that's the
Anyway,
I hate that mod. The mod look cool. You can fly a spaceship and shit. But does the lore it makes no sense. Fallout 3, 476 Retcon's lore. That's true. Did you see a new LoL champ, Zim? I did. Finally, I can call my teammates dogs and they'll actually be playing one.
3, 4, 76 Recon's lore. 3 does not. 4, as far as I understand, doesn't either. 76 is the only one that does. As far as the Brotherhood.
No. I believe four does retcon lore because the power. I remember one specific example. I think it's in the Nuka-Cola DLC where you go to like a Nuka-Cola location. I think there are pirates there and shit, or like fucking. I think I know. You know what I'm talking about. It's like I think it's called Nuka World. I think is what it's called.
Yes,
So
I
anyways,
did not get the. Well, actually, no, I was playing through Nuka World, but I
the
didn't finish
retcon
it.
there is the power armor at the Nuka World site was not made at that time period. So technically, that power armor should not be in a statue there.
So it was made earlier. I was
Yeah.
gonna say most of the game doesn't seem to retcon any of the lore of the series. It just expands on 3s. and actually references the stuff from the earlier Fallout games.
Hang on. Base New Vegas for not retconning, but I did see a Night Slayer. I need to start playing. Once League of Legends resets their rank season, we'll be back to playing leagues on streams. If I told you I bought the digital copy of a 12-book series for $12, would you believe me, Zim? That must be self-published then, because there's no way you get a fucking 12 books for $12, even digitally. Zim bought the Starfield Lies?
Yeah, I'm
No.
going to be honest. I found out recently one of the books I bought is an anthology. Happens to have 2 novels, but I managed to get that stuff used for maybe $7. And even then, the anthology doesn't have 12 or like 6 to 8 full novels. It has like 2 full
It
novels
has
and
to be.
mostly
It has
short
to be.
stories.
It has to be self-published. There's no other way. There's no other way that makes sense. Speaking of
Yeah,
self-publishing,
you
I
wouldn't get.
gotta work on my novel. I'm 51 pages out from finishing, but I'm gonna have to extend it because I'm extending fight scenes. Because fuck Kyle. The dates mentioned in old Fallout don't in Fallout 4 don't match. Yeah, that's basically the situation with Fallout 4.
Why won't this go in? Oh, get in the vehicle, you fools!
So Starfield seems like a fine game. I'm not the kind of guy who's really fucking it like because there's a lot of people who's upset. It probably isn't. So what's in? Nothing. I have no issues with self-published books. I'm just saying that like the only way you could get 12 books self-published for $12 is or the only way you could have gotten that amount is if it has to be self-published because sales are not that good for
I
fucking
thought it was
books. I buy books all the time. You will never like actual published works will never go on sale that low to where you can get 12 for 12.
You might get a special deal where you get like 3 for like 20 or something. There's some good deals out there, but like you're not. That quantity is a bit absurd. I would argue you wouldn't even be able to get like six books for $6.
Enclave Remnants found in New Vegas doesn't seem to be bad people. That's
They
because
just don't want to fight anymore.
yeah, that's
To be
because
honest,
they've already fucking lost consistently and they just given up at that point. Granted, I don't
they're
think
like
they're inherently
whatever.
bad people, but they don't want to fight for anything anymore. They're kind of like pussies like that.
They're like, yeah, we can't do this, and then you're just like, well, you have an obligation to defend New Vegas. And you're just like, at what cost? And it's like it's your home. And they're like, whatever,
And then there's that one guy who fights
fine.
you anyways. Like I think regardless, there's one guy who will always stand against you.
In the Remnants,
Yeah, cause you kill someone and get his power armor.
I'm trying to remember if it's the guy that's living in the cave or not. Might be him.
I don't think they are bad people, which makes me think not everyone was on board with killing the planet in Fallout 2.
I
Well,
mean, well, so there's. I'm pretty sure it's confirmed that like they're mainly there during the events of Fallout 3 at the Adams Air Force Base. I don't think they were at Navarro or the oil rig. The remnants that you're dealing with are not the guys that were there in Fallout 2. At least they don't seem to have indicated as much. They could have been there.
I mean, they probably were because they're old fucking Enclave members and they're around the same area. The thing is regarding fucking New Vegas is heavily tied to Fallout 2 to the point where several characters are either from Fallout 2 or they're connected to it and they're not old enough to justify their difference. The book was made by a guy named Chris Fox. Oh, well, I hope they're good books and you doing.
Time to go get some clearance from Intel.
Me who has never played any Fallout games. That sounds interesting.
Ooh, time to save the game. The last time I played this was in 2019. Bro, was that in? That was almost 4 years ago. Jeez.
I don't remember if the Enclave in Fallout 3 wanted to poison the water supply. Um,
Yes, they did.
they did?
They specifically, yes, they were trying to poison the water supply with the FEV or the anti-FEV, whatever it was called. because they were basically trying to wipe out any mutants in the wasteland. Because they believed that they could do that, they could successfully help protect most of what was left of, not obviously not just the capital wasteland, but they
They
could successfully
are they just
protect
completely
like.
are they just completely fucking brain dead?
Well, it worked about as effectively as any of the other Enclave tactics thus far, so probably. Because, like, I think you mentioned this, that it's like, by the way, there are people that would have drank in that water that would have been living here that had radiation in their bodies. Like, you're just going to kill all the ghouls that are not, like, a problem. It's like, yes, there was sacrifices will be made. And I'm like, that's what everyone says before they're about to make a bad decision.
Yeah, because you can't have the Enclave remnants to go against the NCR, which is why the one guy didn't join. I see. I already finished one of a series on Audible called The Void Rat. Oh, nice. Yeah, no, the NCR, or the Enclave, is cartoonishly evil for no reason. Because they also don't have any nuance in Fallout 3. And in New Vegas, they have nuance, but in Fallout 3, they're just stereotypically evil. To the point where you can even convince John Henry Eden to kill himself.
Ooh. I'd say more
Also,
specifically that Colonel Autumn's evil, rather than. Whoa, I almost ran him over.
oh yeah, Colonel Autumn, you'd have an easier time convincing a brick wall of anything close to a semblance of reason.
Colonel Autumn just wants to return to the good old days.
No, the problem is that when you tell him the president's told him to stand down, he'll literally disregard it too. Like, he literally is just fucking stupid or crazy. Take your pick. I love how everyone thinks.
Oh, I think the foreign language option just means that when you walk in there and they're talking in a foreign language, if you have the right character, you can understand what that means. So every time they have the conversations, you can eavesdrop on what they're saying.
That's cool.
This looks like a good Darksiders game. It is a great Darksiders game. This is the third kingdom of man. It's called Mercenaries.
Which is why I love them because well, they're actually evil. Yeah, but they really shouldn't be. Fallout 3 AI president, never mind, this funny vault guy convinced me to not poison the water supply anymore. Fallout 3 protect, anyways, I'm poisoning the water supply. No Norwegian flag, Mangler. I know, right? Mangler's playing a claim that doesn't acknowledge Norway as a country. Wow. For shame, Mangler. For shame. You can choose to poison the water supply? Why?
Because sometimes you can believe it's more effective to just kill all the mutants for the price of a few humans. Which, the fucked up part in that regards is that their argument is essentially eugenics. It's like, if we can wipe out most of the mutants, we can technically control the wasteland. What makes the wasteland a wasteland, where people would only have to deal with, like, raiders and shit. So technically, if they modified their FEV strain, they could actually achieve their goals. The problem is that they're technically going to wipe out, like, a lot of humans in the process. At least heavily irradiated ones.
Can't make an
Not
omelet
just the
without
ghouls.
breaking at the few thousand eggs.
Oh, then you should be like, be in support of this plan, Senator Armstrong.
Anyways, yeah, you choose. So we all sacrificed a mutant right in Fallout 3, hoping he die. So if you don't, this is what I was complaining about earlier. If you don't have broken steel, you cannot send Fox in, even though it's the most logically smart choice. If you ask him to go in without the DLC, he's just like, nah, it's your moment, you do it. What? Fox, you're immune to radiation. Get
Not
the
wrong.
fuck in there. No. This is your moment. I won't steal it from you. Fox, I am telling
Yeah,
you,
no.
get the fuck in there.
He's not wrong. It is your moment. Get in there, you coward. What are you scared? It's just a little bit of radiation.
That's basically what he tells you. My brother really liked
Oh,
Fox
did he break
actually.
that?
I could not play Fallout 3. So Fallout New Vegas is such a weird game to me because I fucking do not like Fallout 3. And yet I like New Vegas a lot. Even playing the game of New Vegas feels more satisfying than playing Fallout 3 despite them having the exact same core gameplay loop.
Oh, this recoilless rifle has like nothing. Guys, if you could stand out of the way of this giant anti-material rifle that I'm firing, that'd be great.
You know what? Why not use the gecko? You can't use the gecko because the gecko would be too fucking. You had to put. I think the gecko is implied to be a one-time use sort of device. Like once you activate it, it doesn't like you can't change it.
Is he referring to the Gek?
The gek, yes,
Yes. That was like, what the fuck is the Gek?
it's the gecko, bro. You play New Vegas, you see those fucking geckos running at you. Those fucking things are out for fucking blood.
This is Metal Gear. Yes, this is also Metal Gear. It's both Darksiders and Metal Gear at the same time. This is their most recent crossover.
Thank God DLC on PC and Xbox. You never you playing Fallout 3 without DLC is like why would you do that to yourself?
I mean, I do tend to like its core gameplay, so like I didn't really have a problem with it. Had plenty of content to service me. It's
That's
basically the
because you
same
a
system as New
basic
Vegas.
bitch. Thank God I had to
So the only
remember
thing
Zim.
New Vegas had over it in terms of core gameplay was just like the ADS feature.
No, I know, I know. That's why like I really don't understand why I like New Vegas so much more. But
So
like even without DLC, I
I will
already like
say,
New Vegas
camera
better.
controls wise, camera controls, New Vegas is inferior though, because it has a fixed camera that pulls you back behind your body for some reason. It was like really fucking stupid.
I didn't
And then
notice
three,
because I'm
all the
not a guy
while,
who goes around
three's just
breaking the games.
like, I'm sorry, using the camera is my right as a player. Shut the fuck.
It's his right as a player. You guys hear that? It's his right. See, it's his God-given right to use this camera.
Yeah, it's just like your God-given right to use all your fucking weapons in the game. It's my God-given right to use the buttons that are attached to the weapons.
Thank God I had DLC PC. Remember, Zam, the game gives you evil karma for sending Fox on a reactor. I think it's evil karma because it's kind of you're kind of assuming Fox is gonna die. Because even if the radiation will kill him, he's still in water. So I think the reason you get evil karma for sending
He,
Fox is that you're willing to sacrifice somebody else to save your own life. Because as far as I know,
the
superhumans
game
need
doesn't
to
agree with
breathe.
you being a coward.
What? The
The
game
game
agrees
doesn't
with
agree with you being a coward and a good person at the same time.
So
You can only be a coward and be evil.
the game is a FromSoft player, and they will just call you a bitch and to get good while you die in the radiation. Put some rataways on.
Listen. If Bethesda was like, "Hey, we informed a lot of our ethics at the time from Firm Software," I would have been like, "That's completely understandable." Of course, the internet would have been outraged because they're just like, "What are you talking about? Firm Software would never do that." And I'm like, looks at Dark Souls 1 and 3. You sure about that?
Why would he? Why would he die? You understand the entire place is flooded with water, right? Like the reason you die from radiation in that moment is not because of radiation. It's because there's water and the radiation. I'm pretty sure there's water in there. I'm pretty sure it's flooded with water.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I shouldn't bring South Koreans there. They're gonna have a fucking field day with the Russians. For reference, the South Koreans in this game have they take issue with the Russian moth, so they will usually shoot each other on sight, or at least attempt to.
That sounds about right.
Typically, everybody has issues with the South Koreans except for the Allies. I don't know why the Chinese. Actually, hang on. Maybe
Yeah, I
there's
have no
something
clue
that
what this game
explains
is,
why the
lol.
Chinese.
The game shows him just fine, lol. I understand that, but I'm saying that like I think the idea is that you're giving a dangerous situation to somebody else. This game's called Mercenaries. It's this old PS2 game, or I guess this old third generation game, or the PS. What was the PS2 console era? Was that fifth generation?
That was sixth. It was
Yeah.
sixth. Fifth
So
was in 64.
sixth generation game. Hey, Pimp Demon, do you have any idea what the fuck the new Cyberpunk update did or no? Because there's a 5 GB update for Cyberpunk.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, I need to download fucking Cold War today while I'm editing my video, so that way I can play it on like try playing it like on Saturday or Sunday. It's new DLC.
Oh, it's because China, South Korean Union wants they directly are open to a more Western friendly government. That's why they're in favor of the allies
did
there.
you look at the guidebook to see?
That's literally so. It says the South Korean Union is a military organization under heavy influence of the CIA. They want peace and reunification with the goal of installing a Western friendly government. This brings them into opposition with China and to a lesser extent the Russian mafia. They can rely on air support arranged by the CIA.
Call it Cold War. The Activision fix
So
the
yeah,
hacker stuff. Yeah, but the hacker stuff only happens if you play online. I'm just going to be playing with I'm just going to be playing with Devil Kyle and Mangler on zombies.
I think the Russian mob just fights everybody. They literally don't care. They're just like, whatever makes us money, cool. Everybody else, fuck them.
Well, it's like so. My position with with Cyberpunk right now currently is they've already
Didn't the
confirmed
huge update?
what?
Didn't it just get a huge update?
Well, so they got a small update, like a 6.5 one, but there's also going to be a massive update coming out with the DLC that revamps the entire core game systems. So I don't even know if I want to continue playing Cyberpunk or if I want to wait till the game updates itself.
You should probably wait till the game updates itself if it's going to revamp the entire game.
Which means I have to play something else on streams for the time being, because I doubt you guys want to keep watching me play Warhammer.
I mean, are you at least enjoying in Cyberpunk to some extent?
What?
Or is it like... I said, are you at least enjoying Cyberpunk to some extent?
Oh yeah, the
Or is it
game
tough?
the game the
No.
game's fun. Like the game's fun on its own. It's actually solid. It's just that like the problem is that there's so much well, I'm not a big fan of open world games that anymore because there's so much travel I have to do. I think I specifically said on the last Cyberpunk stream I'm gonna do stuff off stream so I can just start playing the main campaign and we can just get through the main campaign on stream.
I have a problem where I can't really buy Cyberpunk because, like, I technically already purchased it on my dad's PS4. I'm like, I'm not going to buy it again, even though it's getting an update or something. It will probably be on sale for cheaper than I got it with more content. I'm like, this is a problem.
Who was the best zombies player? I.e., who would last the longest?
Depends on the game.
I mean, we already streamed it last Friday, so you can get a taste of what me and Mangler were doing. And technically, we died on the same round, although Mangler died earlier on. Zim killed the run. I did not kill the run. I definitely handicapped the run a little bit. However, I did tell Mangler consistently to just let me die and to just survive on his own. I don't know how Mangler died afterwards. You died first? No, that's
because
wrong.
I came to come save you.
That's wrong. Mangler died earlier in the run. You're thinking of the last round, but Mangler died a few rounds earlier.
And then you went down like 5 more times, and for the rest of the game, it was saving your ass.
Bro, what the fuck are you talking about? I literally fucking only went down like twice. And it was in the same. No, I went down I think like 4 times, and 2 of them were in that same alley back to back because but that's because my gobblegum didn't go off. That's not fair to me.
Everybody's had the in plain sight problem, where you don't activate in plain sight, or you don't activate it at the right time.
You guys died on shadows. You died first, Zim, and you want to enter someone's room. Joe moment. I didn't die first. I died first on the final round, but I didn't die, I think, at all until fucking after Mangler died once. Because I had my Pack-a-Punch weapons for almost the entirety of that run. I don't think I died a. No, I don't think I died more than like once. Cause I had my pack punch weapons for the entirety of that round or for that fucking game.
What is this man doing?
And when you die, you don't keep your weapons. Unless you have the gobble gum, right? There's a gobble gum that lets you keep your weapons if you die.
You have arms grace, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so I don't think I died a single time until the very end. I went down several times. Yeah, that's fair, but I don't think I actually flat out died because I got my pack-a-punch weapon, I think on round 7.
Oh wait, do I need to protect this thing?
Sounds like someone who died first would say. No, like I actually flat out had a weapon I had for almost the entire game. If I would have died, I would have lost that weapon. So I know I didn't die like I didn't die in the early game. Yeah, no, there was no point I could have died. I had two pack-a-punch weapons for the entirety of the game. Hang on. Let me check. I can just go on the stream and look at the very end. Well, I'll double check that hacker problem, but as far as I know, that's an online issue of like if you play with other people. I'm not planning to play with a lot of people. Oh, that's right. I made this stream members only.
Oh, is that why I can't find it?
Yeah, because after you left, shit got crazy with me and Kyle.
What happened?
Shit got crazy.
I'll have to ask later then.
No, it wasn't anything like super bad. It was just like inconvenient. Things I'd rather people like not talk about. Hang on, let's see. Okay, yeah, so there's Mangler with the save.
I think
Yeah,
you mainly went down. I don't think you ever died more than once.
yeah, no, I
You
had
went down
one
a bunch of
revive. I
times.
had one revive only. Mangler
Ooh,
died
what's that?
4 times. Because Mangler has
Did I
4 revive.
die or did I go down?
Okay, so I have 5 downs. You have 3 downs. Oh wait. This doesn't have. Does this not count deaths? Does it not count
No,
how many?
it doesn't. Deaths are not counted.
Oh,
Only downs.
okay. Then I went down more times, but I had a pack-a-punch weapon for almost the. When did I get my first pack-a-punch gun?
Yeah,
Okay.
but you have to consider I not only went down, I came back multiple times with like nothing. My recovery is
Zim, people in core
excellent.
be getting
Also,
hit on
God,
single player. Zim, is it Mexico or Mexico? It's technically Mexico. Mexico is if you're saying it like English. What do you mean? How the fuck are you being hacked offline or in single player? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
okay, I'm gonna try this.
But I'm here, Zim. I can talk about that stream. I'm a member. You are Pimp Demon. Pimp Demon, have you even watched that stream? I don't think you were actually there for most of that stream, were you? Yeah, because I ended up playing a bunch of random games, and then near the very end, the chat was like, "Hey, what do you want to play?" And they decided they wanted me to play Scott Pilgrim, so I beat the entirety of Scott Pilgrim in like 4 hours.
Got it.
Great game.
Who is shooting?
No,
Okay, they're probably coming from this building then. I'm sinking it.
I
Oh
haven't.
yeah, mercenaries also includes a destroyable environment. So
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool. Man, games are really well designed back in the day. Fuck me.
yeah, so if you're tired of enemies spawning in the area, just blow up all the buildings with a couple RPGs.
Oh,
Also, disguises technically work in this game. at least you don't get physical disguises, you get vehicle disguises. So if you drive around in a vehicle, you are disguised as that vehicle unless an officer sees you or you honk your horn or do something illegal.
I missed the shadows. You did miss the shadows of evil, yes. I was asleep for that stream, sadly. For shame. Can we talk about how awesome Doc from New Vegas is? He is pretty awesome. How many confirmations of PLC being canon do we need for people to shut up about not being canon? I swear people want us to interview the devs ourselves and record them saying it. To be fair,
5 to 6 more.
to be fair, in complete fairness, we didn't get the most recent statements until like a week ago. So people still haven't changed their stance on that one. They're just being like ridiculous.
I'm gonna be honest, we had like 5 to 6 direct statements. We had more than enough. How many? I'll just be that guy. How many times is the source material for any series, period, ever stated that it's an orthodoxical sequel or anything like that, or is an officially licensed game? Like, how many times has any other series ever stated that? Probably never. No one, when no company, when talking about their games, talks about them being canon. That's not a word that they use to describe them. That's a question that's asked by fans because they assume that a game being canon is how like a company determines whether or not like it's being made. That's not correct.
Doc is pretty awesome.
Continuity is a separate issue.
IGN's interview is there. Nero and PLC is weird. He's from what I understand, he's just playable. It's not that he has no lore relevance there. I think he might
Even
have
if
his
he
own
had more
story.
relevance, we'd have to see where his story specifically is. Okay, I'm a civilian, so the NCR or not the NCR, fucking the North Korean, the NKs won't fire on me.
So how much longer do we have for this stream? Because you said you were going to end it a little earlier.
Yes, I'm probably gonna end it in a week. Well, I mean, I said I'd go for like 3 hours, so I still got some time. Oh no, I just ran into that building and nobody saw that apparently.
Yeah. I got work tomorrow. Thankfully, my boss hit me up with some of the best news last week, and I hope she's not going to go back on her word. But she's like, hey, we got a new cashier trained to go, so we're going to take you off register at like 3 every day now. And I'm like, bless. Thank the Lord. Please dude, if that doesn't happen tomorrow, I'm going to be so fucking disappointed. I fucking hate being stuck on register all day. I wonder if the Resident Evil movie will be in theaters here. Probably not. Okay, by the way, why'd they get kills you in Fallout 3? Where's Darksiders 2, Logic Gamer? He played Darksiders 2. Fuck, how many streams ago was that? I'm pretty sure I labeled Darksiders 2, didn't I? I might not have. Darksiders 2 is like probably 8 Darksiders streams back. I'm pretty sure I labeled them. Also, the Gek kills you because I think the water's radiated still. Again, the Gek doesn't kill you. What kills you is turning on the Gek. Or because the radiation's going to kill you, the Gek's not going to save you in time.
I'm
Oh,
back.
never mind. Never. Yeah. No, yeah, okay, so hang on a minute. Is there a Discord for this channel? There is, but I don't make it public anymore. Too many issues occurred. Yeah, no, just go back about like 7 or 8 Darksiders streams. I'm pretty sure Darksiders 2 will end somewhere around there, and then you can just go backwards from there. Also, VSP using the base version of the game, not having the Pluto scans and 90 scans, even though those are part of an event that wouldn't be in the beta version of the game. I know, I know. No, the get doesn't kill you. The water's radiated. The thing is that in order to turn on the get, you have to go into a massive radiation hotspot. On board, so bye. Alright, there's some demon things time. Bye, mate. Another one of Mangler's 8-hour streams? No, Mangler's gonna be ending it pretty soon. I'm thinking I might do an editing stream for members, but I don't think they would care to watch that. But I still gotta record some behind the scenes for editing the text anyways. God, I'm only like 14 minutes into a 40. I think when the video is gonna be all said and done, it's gonna be like 39 minutes, and I fucking hate that. I think that's because of me. Oh, let me know if I can join. Um, you gotta be more of a regular on the streams, Logic, before I let you join. I'm sorry. It's just like there are too many issues that rise from letting like randoms join, and also the fact that like I'm not accusing you of this, but like there's also the chance that you could be someone else. There have been people in the past who have kind of changed their name to try and get into my servers and stuff like that.
Usually the Swarm or some other malicious intent.
Yeah, so it's
And
it's like
we find out very quickly who that is.
yeah, so it's just a situation of like there's been so much issues with the Discord server that I'd rather just keep it more. It's more or less private. You gotta be like a consistent regular before I let you join. Even then, some regulars here aren't even in the in the server. Like I don't think Jeremy is.
Yeah, some of them aren't. It takes some time. And then even then, many of the regulars who do join don't even get like the regular label
That's cool.
by the time they arrive.
Yeah, that's right, man. I'll say if you have questions or anything, like feel free to ask why it's designed that way. I don't know. For some reason, the Gek instantly collapses and recombines all matter. Sounds reasonable. Yeah, if you ever want to talk to us or ask questions, like we're pretty. I've been in the server for years. You have. Um, you don't say shit half the time, but yeah, you have. um, yeah, but if you ever want to ask questions, we're pretty active on streams and shit. So if you ever just want to come by, if you have questions or you want to talk about something, just feel free to like talk about it. I'm a busy person. We have a guy in there who's in the military. Poor bastard. Good luck to him on his journey. Dang, what I miss? Did you change your name, Gun? Poster, is that you?
Guys, if you change your names, we're not going to know who you are.
Yeah, it's him.
And then we'll have to figure it out later.
I was gonna say, Poster's the only guy who I've seen with a pure black icon. I forgot I changed it, not gonna lie. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so the Darksiders streams are done. Mangler's currently playing Mercenaries. And yeah, more or less balance been restored. I'll have to look into the
God,
Cold
these
War
things are taking
situation about
forever.
hacking then.
Oh, wait. Let me try and, oh. Supposed to be using the thing.
Have y'all streamed Hi-Fi? I did stream Hi-Fi Rush.
Whoa!
No, I don't think I did stream Hi-Fi Rush. I think I played it by myself.
Okay. I definitely should have evacuated a little bit.
Probably. I was actually thinking about doing a how powerful for Hi-Fi Rush. So the Bleach video is next. Okay, so to clarify, the situation is the Bleach video is not technically next. It's just the thing I'm having Mangler work on specifically. Because so we all do separate videos and shit, so we all have different pipelines and stuff. So I got a question. I was browsing Reddit and came across why Pluto separated human and demon world. Does he have empathy towards humans?
We don't know his reasonings on why he did it.
Yeah. We can only speculate, but if he
It's
had empathy
also,
towards humans, that would be rather strange, given that that would mean he would have humanity, and he still loses to Mundus canonically in the lore. At least the Pluto that split the world, or I guess yeah, split the worlds. It'd be kind of weird if a Demon King with a humanity boost would lose to Mundus, even if Mundus did eat the fruit.
it's possible that he could have still lost to Boondis while being a Demon King if giving the humanity is what allowed him to become strong enough to be a Demon King, but we don't have any evidence that he had humanity, or if that's how he became the Demon King. We don't know how Pluto became the Demon King to begin with. Like, we just have very little information on him in general. We just know
Certain
he's a
Demon
Demon
Kings
King,
are weird.
the world. Yeah. Because, like, the only Demon King that actually has evidence for having humanity is, like, Argosax. But Argosax is different because he just wanted to be perfect, and that just encompasses humanity. Plus, he was already beyond a Demon King level at that point.
Yeah, because you have like Mundus ate the fruit, Argosax was just like, yes, and then you have Abigail, who's just like, where the fuck did
I
you come
don't
from?
care. I don't care. I'm just as powerful as a Demon King, and nothing is ever going to explain how I got that power or how powerful I was when I got there. So, yeah, no, I'm just as strong as Moses.
I'm quite literally just built different.
That's literally how he's introduced too. He's just like a lone demon named Abigail, said to have the power to rival the Demon King. I'm like, and
That's it.
are we going to follow that up with something? No, okay, that's fine. It's not like I wanted to know or anything. But fuck me.
Even the idea
And
that
then yours in. Oh god.
I was gonna say, even the idea that Pluto split the realms is technically an assumption. We don't even
It is
know
an
the
assumption.
we don't know the name of the demon who split the world. We're assuming it's Pluto because of it being Pluto, but or because of just like a Demon King position. But I'm gonna give a hot take here. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Sparta. It looks like Sparta. The manga is talking about Sparta's
Well,
legend half the time.
technically, the evidence comes from like DMC 1 because DMC 1 is the one that claims on the promised land Pluto will on the promised day Pluto will come and split heaven and earth.
But that day hasn't come yet because it's the promised day, so that would be a future event.
Well, it just refers to like something that the Oracle did, but and then it says one with black wings and treachery will stand in Pluto's way.
Me casually seeing how Mundus has no black wings.
I mean, I've kind of already mentioned this before, but like he could just have a different appearance or something.
Source. Oh yeah, that actually reminds me. The actual freaking they have you heard about the submarine situation?
Yeah, but I don't care because like bigger things are happening to people that aren't making stupid individualistic decisions like that. So
Yeah, are you saying it was stupid to go into a submarine that looked like it was made with duct tape and toilet
I,
paper?
I'm saying that the media that covers it isn't doing the due diligence of covering like shipwrecks and shit like that all the time that scale up to like a vastly higher amount of casualties. There's literally like it was some migrant boat that had like a couple hundred people on it, and like I've never seen any like coverage of this at all.
Definitely
Or
not
like instead they're
Sparta.
covering this stupid ass fucking experimental submarine.
If I remember correctly, the passage in the manga is talking about a guy regarding Temene Gru, isn't it? Isn't the whole point that like he
Uh,
rended the earth with his spear, and to keep the world separate, he nailed down wasn't it like fucking
yes, it is
yeah,
to
it's
make
referencing
sure that
Sparta's
heaven and earth
actions.
are separate.
Like listen,
Yeah,
if you want to say it's not
I never.
Sparta because there's a potentially like more lore consistent argument, that's fine. But like the guy looks like Sparta. The manga's talking about Sparta consistently. Everything within that panel can be attributed to Sparta, and it would be perfectly fine.
Well, so I don't attribute the person in Three's manga as the same person that's mentioned in DMC1.
Well, so the thing is, like,
Especially since if you assume Black Wings and treachery, you would, especially if we're going by visual descriptions, you would assume the Black Wings and treachery is referring to Sparta,
yeah. See
not to
that's exactly
Pluto.
my point. Is like if you want to say there's a potential like more lore consistent argument, then where is Sparta's spear? Guys, the sword Sparta can turn into a spear.
It can, yes, and it can also
It's
cut through space
if you
time
stinger with
technically.
the sword Sparta, it turns into a spear in DMC
Yeah,
one.
so there's a description. I believe there's a description in the what was it? I saw it recently in the either the Kato Shindo or Precious Tears that confirms the Sparta sword can directly cut the fabric of space and time. And
Nice.
it's not referring to the Yamato; it's referring to the Sparta sword.
So a sword with a long handle is a spear now, dude.
Well, no, it could transform into a spear.
It turns
We see
into a
that it can do
spear.
that.
What are you on about? When you stinger with the sword Sparta, it turns into a pole arm based weapon in DMC one.
Oh,
The
my Nampo.
the counter argument you can make is that it's not a spear, it's a halberd, but at that point we're just arguing semantics.
The halberd is just a form of a spear.
Doesn't it kind of do that in 5?
It's
I
just a
don't remember how it looks in 5. I don't remember if it turns into a
no.
spear in 5 when you stinger.
In 5 it doesn't have those properties, but in 1 and 2 it does.
Okay, yeah, because they just copied it. So hang on, just to answer your question. Any plans on streaming Final Fantasy 16? At the current moment, no. I don't own a PS5. Uh, my friend Kyle, Balrog Blaze, on Wednesdays might start streaming it, but he has to buy it first, and none of us have the money. None of us have the money to fork it over to buy it.
In DMC2 and DMC4, the blades is well. It does extend outside Stinger. In Stinger, it doesn't extend to a spear range with Trish, but it does extend when Trish uses round trip. It just
Yeah,
doesn't
when
extend
she
to a
uses round
Stinger
trip, it
attack
turns to a fucking
specifically.
it turns to a scythe. The sword Sparta, we just call it a sword because that's the main form we hold it. But to be more accurate, it would be more accurate to just call it the Devil Arm Sparta because it can turn to multiple different types of weapons, including a fucking spear.
Well, to be fair, its full name is the Devil Sword Sparta, so I would just assume it's just the sword of Sparta because it's his main weapon. It doesn't necessarily have to be a sword at all times.
Just
It's
like DMC
transformed into
one,
like three
just the
different things.
handle extends, the blade is still in a sword format. It
Why
turns
am I
into
being
a
shot
pole
at?
arm. Hang on, no, I'm gonna double check this. It turns to a fucking pole arm. Again, do you not know what the fuck medieval weapons are? Your argument is that's a halberd, not a fucking sword with a long handle.
Let me just pick this up. Landing zone is not clear. Oh, that might be because of the crater.
Hang on.
Yeah. Let me. Wait.
Well,
Do
hang
I
on.
have to
Let me
blow
look
up
at the
other stuff?
cutscene. Wait, you're you're full of shit. Yeah, the only argument you can make is that this is a halberd.
All right, let me just take him over there because clearly this is not working out. I'm so slow.
Yeah, your
I
only
said literally
argument is
double the
that this is a
distance.
halberd, but at that point you're just arguing semantics. It could still be considered a spear. This is absolutely a polearm. Just because Dante doesn't wield it like a spear does not mean it's not a fucking spear. Actually, no, he does because he puts his hand on the handle.
All right, let me see if the helicopter will land here.
What the? So a sword with a long handle is a spear now? Bro, holy shit.
That would just mean that's. Well, are they firing at him?
Okay, so this is just an example of someone who doesn't know medieval weaponry. Okay, so looks like okay, let me look up what that is. Cuz I think I know what you're talking about, but that still be considered a spear. Hang on, let me check. You're talking about the pole arm, right? Yeah. Uh no, you're full of shit. Wait, hang on. Let me make sure on the images here. Let me
All
look
right,
at
it
this
didn't
here.
end the mission. Great, perfect. Let's go over here.
Okay, so first off, you're actually fucking wrong. It would fit more of a halberd because there's a back angle here. You fucking weeb. But even then, this is still a pole. This will be a pole arm. This will fall. You would be able. This would fall more in line as a spear, not a sword. You would never call this a fucking sword. It's a pole arm, but it's more accurately called a spear than a fucking sword.
Why is there a reporter just running around in this battlefield? No, get away. Get
Also,
away.
you would never call the Nagiti or Nagita, whatever it's called. You would never call that a sword. You assume Sparta the Great Swords in the Underworld would restrict himself to only a sword? No, like it's clear he prefers a sword, but the sword Sparta in question transforms into both a spear or it transforms into a scythe and another weapon of some form of a polearm. The thing is that whether or not you want to call that polearm a spear or a sphere or a spear, yeah, is up in the air. It does have a curved handle, but it does have a point at the end. Again, you're better off arguing it's a halberd. But at that point, again, you're just arguing semantics. They're all pole arms, and if someone calls it a spear, it can still be relevant to that actual weapon. That's still valid. I never called an Naginata a sword. Yeah, but you're calling the sword Sparta a sword with a long handle. So I'm assuming that's what you're referring to Nagi, whatever the fuck it's called, as a sword. Because again, you were insinuated that you were insinuated you were calling it a sword. Now I watched a video on that thing. Looks like a long freaking spear. I want to comment to what you said earlier. If you're referring to the comments on the Discord, again, you call the sword Sparta a sword with a long handle is a spear now, and then you bring up a completely different weapon with a
Oh,
long double
time
point.
to break the peace with the Russian moth.
Nah, bro, that was perfect insinuation. That's completely different from the Discord situation. But even then, it would still just be a halberd. Like worst case scenario, it's a halberd, which would still fall
Oh,
more
now
in
they're
line.
neutral.
Wouldn't be a sword. By that logic, you'd argue a scythe is just a sword with a long handle. I'm not even looking at Discord. And what are you referring to then? Because you claim insinuation here, but like, what was being insinuated earlier? At least by me.
What if it's possible to kill all of the mafia officers
Look. The
with
point
avoiding the problem?
is when the sword Sparta extends in Stinger, there's no way you can still call that a sword. It's some form of a pole arm, and it would be logical to call it a spear. Sparta has a spear he could have used to rend the earth. That is the point in question. We can debate semantics, but it's a pole arm at the end of the day, and if someone calls a pole arm a spear, that's not entirely inaccurate. Granted, depending on the weapon, that'd be a really stupid fucking way to call it, because as you pointed out, the Japanese one you mentioned, or Chinese, I think it's a Chinese weapon, is a terrible example of a spear because you'd never stab someone with it. Because
Besides, it's just a chef knight with a long handle. True. Scythes can sometimes be a chef knight if from a certain point of view.
I'm not denying it being a pole arm. I'm fighting it being a spear. Yeah, but you can classify it as a spear regardless. It has a point at the end. Also, again, even if you want to say it's not a spear directly, it fits more in line with the halberd. But again, for a casual observer's example, if they were to call that a spear, like if a manga were to announce it was a spear, there would be nothing wrong with that. By Sento looks like.
It's what Whitebeard uses.
Oh yeah, no, that's what that's
What?
basically what that's what the whatever the naginata this thing Asai mentioned looks like that. Yeah.
Magita.
Yeah. Oh shit, you're right. It actually is called a Bacento. Huh. So again, I think halberd fits better because there's something on the back of it. There's a bladed point on the back of it, so I think a halberd idea fits better. But yeah, no, like Naginado can be curved. Now, is there a curved halberd? Yeah. Halberds have a curved edge consistently. They have designs on their edges and are curved. Like, it's not just one flat blade point. It's a curved blade point. It's a curved... It's like an axe. So a halberd is essentially having an axe and a spear on the same weapon.
It is. It's literally just the dimensions of a spear plus an axe at the end of it.
Because spears
like
are not curved. Okay, no. Because I can look up curved spears right now.
Hang on. Before this continues, catch me up. Is this an argument for like the specifics on what rendered the Earth in Devil May Cry?
Okay, no. So what happened is I believe it was Hasai who mentioned this. Hasai said Sparta doesn't have a spear, therefore it couldn't have been him in the manga. But I was pointing out that the sword Sparta turns into essentially a spear in the game when you do Stinger.
So I really don't want to be that person, but a spear is literally just any stick with a pointed edge. You could literally break some bone off as long as there's a jagged bit at the end. That's still technically a spear.
Fuck you. Yeah, there are pointed.
If we want to go that route, then Sparta would fall into that.
There are curved spears. They're just not very. They're not very good. Because why the fuck would you want a curved spear? But regardless, we're arguing semantics here. It's still got a point at the end, and it's still, again, if a random person looked at the sword Sparta in its long form, they'd probably say it's some form of a spear. Again, you're assuming the guy who translated the manga or made the manga.
Let me ask you this question.
Sure.
In either DMC 1, 5, or when you play as Trishan 4, when the blade goes into that form, is there a technique where they throw it and it comes back?
Only round trip, but the round trip turns into a scythe that spins in the air, so I feel like that's not quite fair. Unfortunately, Dante never does sword Sparta.
Hang on a minute. If we assume it's turning into a scythe when it's a round trip, why would we not assume it's turning into a spear when it stingers?
Well, no. So essentially, what the debate is if spear is the proper classification of it. Because if I concede the point, it's not a potential spear. Hasai's going to argue then it can't be Sparta because they list the word spear. However, while I still think spear can be argued validly in this context, what I'm pointing out is that an average consumer of media who doesn't have a above average, which keep in mind the average knowledge of medieval weaponry is fucking nothing besides Skyrim. An average person would classify the sword Sparta and Stinger as a spear because they wouldn't know better. They wouldn't know the details to actually classify it more effectively. So arguing
I don't want to be that.
There isn't really a way. I wouldn't really say there's a better way to classify it more effectively, even with knowledge. Because even if you argued it would be a polearm or something, that would just be a subcategory of a spear. You would just specify that it's a spear during this action, and that it can become a spear regardless.
Go on, Kyle.
You know what's funny? Is that the average person doesn't know the difference between like a spear and a lance. They just think that a lance is just a bigger spear.
Yeah. Also, there are technically sword spears, technically, but which I mean, you could argue that's a thing, but that would just be like a sword at the end of a fucking pole arm. Which I
Oh, that
mean,
man was not subdued. He is
that's a
fucking
thing.
like he has a concussion.
My knowledge of medieval
Sorry,
weaponry has kicked people out of the stream. Apparently, we've lost so many viewers when I started busting out my encyclopedia.
yeah, because they're trying to understand mercenaries right now, and you're just over here like, guys, medieval weaponry.
So you argue that Sparta's the one who split the world. Sword spears exist, by the way. No. My position is that in the DMC3 manga, it's a much better position to argue that the manga is just talking about Sparta, given that it's also talking about Temene Groom in the same Temene Gru in the same section. I'm just saying that if you want to argue with some random Pluto guy because of things in DMC1 and because in DMC's POC, well, it actually shows Pluto with the spear, although I think the devs confirmed that wouldn't even be the same Pluto, which I think is one of the... God, I fucking hate DMC fucking author statements. So many stupid fucking things are stated, like when Itsuno's like, oh yeah, angels don't exist in DMC. Why? Why would you have to... Why did you say that?
Because he wasn't referring to, he specifically specifies it's in reference to the Christian understanding of what an angel is.
Yeah, but no, yeah, no. So the point is that the Sword Sparta. I'm still here. Hello, Rock and Alice. Welcome back. The DMC Angel Lances are cool. Bianca Angelos. I should play DMC 4 days a treat. Samaj. Wow, I did something good. Time to get carpal tunnel syndrome from playing DMC 4.
Something unique happened today. Time to play that game I always play whenever anything happens any day.
Oh boy, I successfully filtered oxygen in my lungs. Time to play DMC 4. I'm essentially nitpicking for the sake of being specific. Yeah, but the problem is that in the context of our situation, we would now have to prove that the guy who wrote the DMC manga actually had enough knowledge to make the distinction valid. And also, again, like, it still looks like a spear. At that point, we're just arguing semantics. And also, again, I'm pretty sure Halberd fits better, anyways. I know how to star rave twice, but I gotta be more consistent. This is true. I think for the next How Powerful video, I think I'm just gonna say fuck it and I'm not gonna subtitle it. Unless the subtitles are like the main reason, I'm just gonna say fuck it, no subtitles. Fuck that shit. That shit's...
I have no idea why you subtitled it in the first place. YouTube does that for free.
Yeah, I know. Just another day in paradise for old Zim.
My car has seen better days.
Looks
I
like
did not
Devil's
mean to do
car
that.
after he went through his accident.
I did not run over that soldier on purpose. He was just standing there in the middle of the road and decided to get out of the way. Or not to get out of the way. As you can tell, he paid the price.
So let me ask you a question then. In Austin Powers, when that guy doesn't get out of the way of the concrete roller, who actually killed that man? Nice job, Mangler.
I was hoping it would bounce one more time off the wall and I'd be outside the radius, but apparently it didn't, and now I'm barely alive. Is there a medical?
My Little Pony, how powerful? I will never watch My Little Pony. I will never scale My Little Pony. Barbie, how powerful? You'd sooner see me scale Barbie. I think Barbie actually has some silly feats. I think Death Battle talked about it recently, but I don't watch the Death Battle cast. I think they're a waste of time. It turns to aside from DMC5 when Dante does his prop and shredder move. Yeah, the Sword Sparta transforms. It just doesn't transform into a spear in DMC5. Or pole arm, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Death Battle Cast is one of those weird things to where, like, I don't know. It's kind of like I only watch Death Battle at a cursory level. Ha, Pimp Demon's not here. And I'm sorry, you can't pay me enough to scale My Little Pony. I'm sorry, you can't. Mangler, why
God
The
the...
damn
issue
it,
I
the
have with
loading
the Death Battle
screens don't
cast
give
is
me
that
enough
Death
time
Battle
to read
cast.
anything.
What was that, Mangler?
I said the loading screens of this game don't give me enough time to view anything because the loading times on the console are so fast. They just give me like a screenshot. They're like, "Oh, one and you're done." Boop.
Well, I was going to say, to build upon what Zim said, the thing I have against the Death Battle cast is that it shows their ignorance. Like, granted, they don't really go through it before they talk, but it also shows that they're willing to make some of the most asinine arguments for characters they like.
Yeah, like I don't even watch every single death battle. I still haven't watched Tanjiro versus Jonathan. And I actually care about that. And well, I use care loosely, but I'm actually somewhat interested in that matchup, and I still haven't watched it. I don't know, it's just like once you properly scale your own shit consistently, watching other scalers kind of becomes a little bit like, especially Death Battle in particular. Death Battle cast is not supposed to be serious. Okay, so I'm supposed.
Bullshit.
I mean, I'm sure.
I
Mangler,
disagree
what
with
the
that.
fuck are you doing?
Okay.
I didn't know it was a steep drop.
Okay, so I don't know what Zim's going to say, but I'm going to say I disagree on that because there are times where they'll literally drop arguments there that will actually make it into an actual episode.
My position is that, like, I know they debated with two people they consider credible in the situation. I think the idea of it not being too serious is just the premise that it's not their official stance, but I don't think the debaters are not taking it seriously.
No, they're trying to win.
No. Aside, no one's accusing you of saying it's not serious. We're just giving our opinions here. Omni-Man versus Homelander was their better death battle. Omni-Man versus Homelander was a great fucking animation, actually. It's really a shame Death Battle doesn't fucking pay more money to get hand-drawn animation like that. Because, like, even if that was their style, that's still, like, fucking clean.
Like, let me give you an example of a cast that they did that you can say isn't fun, but they were 100% trying to argue the strongest version of the characters possible, and that's Nemesis versus Pyramid Head.
Okay, apparently I'm gonna need a bunker buster for that.
Fucking
And right
Afedi,
now I have no
Afedi, I
vehicle.
know what the fuck the sword looks like. It has a bladed point at the end. That'd be more likely for a halberd or a double-pointed spear. Actually, no, fuck that. That would seem more like a trident. Because it technically has 2 points at the end with one missing in the middle.
Well,
But
that would actually be a Bident.
yeah, that's more argument for a bident then, which is still more classified as a spear. Anyways, the point is that fucking if you argue it's a fucking it's a war scythe.
Well, I was going to say, like, the two. Technically, anything that's a polearm technically falls under the spear category.
I know. I still think Pyramid Head can win. In what universe? Mangler's stream went down? Mangler, what happened?
Yeah, it keeps deactivating.
Whack.
Okay, I reactivated it again. Should be fine.
Killua Misaka already came out? I believe so. He's based on James Insanity. And? I don't care what he's based on. Nemesis would one-shot Pyramid Head. Unironically, Pyramid Head has no fucking feats. I can argue Nemesis scales to a nuke. Well, no. I can argue Nemesis scales to a thing right below a nuke. Think Jason? Nemesis would fuck Jason up too! What's your point?
What is hitting me? Oh.
Bro, if you guys want, pretty soon I'll do a
there's
Nemesis
tentacle.
gauntlet. Depends if it's DPD Pyramid Head. Hey, Cypher. I don't know if you know this, but you want to know who's also in DPD? This fucking beast called Nemesis. You want to bring in DPD scaling? I'll bring in DPD scaling.
You know what's actually kind of funny that's come out of recent years is that there's a new slasher villain that came out that I pretty much think would, depending on the feats that he's shown, I think he would actually do really well against Jason and pretty much body Michael. Have you seen Terrorizer?
No. Is that one word or two?
One. It's basically about this fucked up mime.
What the fuck?
Like
Oh,
a mime clown.
you mean Terrifier?
Could be either that. There's a third movie coming out in a year or two.
The entity is not scared of Jason. That's wrong. The entity isn't afraid of Jason. The entity doesn't
He's
take
afraid of his
Jason.
mother.
Well, no, it's not afraid. Yeah, it does look more like a war scythe. All right, that's fair. No. I just looked up. No, it's not afraid of either of them. It's just that it doesn't fucking take Jason because Jason's mother is already massively controlling it. Basically, the entity is conceding that if it were to take Jason, his mother would overpower the entity's influence. However, I don't even know if that's accurate either, because if you believe that, you're now arguing that Jason's mother's abilities would exceed Pyramid Head's Leviathan. Not Pyramid Head's, Pinhead's Leviathan. Although, I think Pinhead's not there against his will. I think he actually shows up without the entity knowing about it.
He's there because the box is there.
Yeah, but the box being there either means A, Leviathan threw the box in there, or B, the entity dragged the box in there.
What does any of this shit mean? I don't know.
Ninety mom, let's go. DVD Pyramid Head's greater than DVD Nemesis? The fuck? Fuck no, he isn't. But none of them beats DVD Nicolas Cage? Too true. 9D mom, let's go. I don't think the end of these scale is above multiversal, and even then, that's being a little generous to its interpretation.
So the problem with the entity is that while it does create all of the locations that it has, at best, you can say it's like Uni Plus because you have to argue. You have to try and find a way to argue that each of the different maps is a different space time and not just one. Because the problem is there's no time in any of the maps.
Well,
It's just space.
Well, this is where I have to ask a
It's
question.
timeless.
How do you want to argue for crossovers with Dead by Daylight?
What has Dead by Daylight crossed over with besides from any of the other killers?
It's crossed over with For Honor. You know the night game? Yeah, there was a Halloween event where the entity invaded their world and trapped them in it, and they had to kill trappers consistently. Yeah. So, like, how do you want to take that shit? Because the entity can infect other worlds, technically.
That's fine. That's still Uni Plus then.
Well, well, actually, I'll check and see if I can't find the lore for it, but it was really cool. Like, you're just there casually, and out of nowhere, this one trapper just spawns on the map, and I'm like, oh, I'll kick this guy's ass. He's used to fighting losers. And then he parried me, and I'm like, oh no, he can fight. Oh no.
Did he set down the traps?
He can't. No. He throws traps at you and yanks you with the trap. He doesn't put them on the floor. He just throws them at you and fucking pulls them back with like a chain.
Can we
I'm being shot at.
hang on, can we just rework Trapper to do that now instead of just putting them on the floor?
Bro, imagine if like you're just trying to run away from Trapper and he just fucking chucks a trap at you and just yanks you back, bro. Better fucking Death Slinger.
It's like, dude. If they rework Trapper to be like that, Trapper would see way more play.
Trapper's good, but you have to like fucking mind game so fucking hard.
I seem to be under fire.
Yeah, and because of the event, the actual heroes from For Honor got limited time fucking executions involving weapons from the actual characters of Dead by Daylight, which I thought was kind of cool. Cause like you get a huntress execution where you just hit them over and over again with the sword. you get a trapper execution where they summon a hook out of nowhere and just stab them onto it, and then the hook drags them away.
I did not mean to do that.
It was such a cool event. I hope they bring it back. Daily reminder: Hunk is on DVD as a killer. Is he?
He's a costume.
Well, I mean that means costumes are canon. So who's he the killer of?
Riz?
Is that my
Bro,
question?
why does my live stream keep deactivating?
I don't
What
see
the heck?
Jeremy. Also, what are Terrifier's abilities? Kyle, can you let us know what Terrifier's abilities are? Any like sort of like things?
Pretty much your average horror monster shit, like super strength, super speed, super durability, immortality, regeneration. I think some telekinesis as well.
All right. Well, the whole point of the box is to find people to open it. So I don't think Leviathan would care or Pinhead for that matter, since they are getting what they want. DBD sucks. I'm not the biggest fan of DBD, especially because I hate all my teammates, even when they're my friends. Actually, I think I hate them more when they're my friends. But I like playing as killer, but I was not very good at like developing skills as killer. I could only really effectively kill people until like the mid-range ranks, and then I start getting like stomped out. But I was playing
The problem with
Nemesis.
the problem with playing as killer is that you need the perks. And you need to like dedicate yourself to a specific killer for hours on end.
Yeah. And I didn't feel like I didn't feel like losing for hours on end. I wish they had a training mode.
Because the problem is, if you come against like an expert team of survivors and they're all on a call, and you can tell when they're in a call, it's a fucking nightmare.
I don't know about you, but there have been personally games where I've just stopped playing, where I'm just like, I'm just gonna let them win. I haven't hit a single one of them. They're already 3 gens in. I clearly am not winning this one. Yeah, I made my boy Nemesis. I tried to play Pyramid Head. Skill issue. Wesker is easy. Wesker's. I think my brother mentioned Wesker's down right now actually, because he had a bug where he became invisible for the entire game after he used his ability.
Your plan, but I accidentally exploded the entire vehicle by running slightly into a fence at like 40 miles an hour.
So it's getting more stuff GTA
So,
rules.
because I'm trespassing Chinese territory. But am I really trespassing if we're all
Hang
allies?
on.
Mi casa, su casa.
Well, they are communists.
And name only.
I gotta go to work tomorrow. I need money, but I got paid by YouTube this month. But I need money. That's just lore accurate Wesker. How's Michael in Dead by Daylight? Do you want to give your comments, Kyle, or do you want me to give the comments for this one?
No, you good.
Have you ever played Michael?
I've played against him.
Okay, so you've never played as him. Okay, so Michael in Dead by Daylight is very interesting. He has a mechanic where he just stares at people menacingly to build up his killer power. I believe the way it works is at level 2, at level 1, he's slower than an average killer. At level 2, I think he's slightly faster or normal speed killer with, I think, a larger terror radius, I believe.
So the way that I know from playing against him is tier 1, he's slower than the survivors. Tier 2, he's slightly faster than the survivors. But in tier 3, he can just one-shot you.
Yeah, so that's what I get to next. Tier 3 is just that he just insta-downs you. However, if you run 2 specific items, he can not only insta-down you, he can just kill you flat out. But in order to activate that effect, you have to look at them for a long period of time. No, Michael Myers doesn't cause bleed. You're thinking of No, bleed is Legion. Oh, you're talking about the hunk. Yeah. Yeah, Michael's the only character in the game with an actual insta-kill ability, with the exception of, I think, Pyramid Head. I think there's a way for Pyramid Head to kill you flat out without needing to Mori you. Oh, no. I think there's another one too. I think the Ring can kill you too without a Mori. I could be wrong on that one though.
But I'm just so glad that I'm strong enough to beat a piece of car wreckage down the side of a slope with my bare hands. Or just using an SMG. It's nice to be superhuman.
If he BFRs you and you don't get out of the cage, then yeah, you die. Yeah, so I think he has another way to kill you.
Time you go. Man, I'm making bank.
After playing all the Darksiders games, what's your favorite?
Probably. Oh, hang on. Gotta deal with it. I would say, as a full package, probably Darksiders 1. Darksiders 2 for its combat. Oh, no. Why are there always such long slopes around the side of these places? The hell is with Korea and its elevation?
Pyramid Head scales to Uni Plus and sees above the enemy's control as far as I know. No, that wouldn't scale him to AP. Anyways, Dante's not cosmic level because he doesn't resist water pressure. That's also inconsistent. The entity does not, as far as I know, resist the entity's control. I could be wrong on that one, but I think it's more so he's just used to things like that. Because the survivor for Silent Hill can control the entity to some extent. Because she's used to dealing with supernatural paranoia stuff. I mean, he could resist the entities. Well, the problem is that the entity only controls you if you don't want to do it. Pyramid Head just might want to do it. That's the thing about about the entity. It doesn't forcefully control everybody. Just the people who say no.
I think the only killer that we know of that has actively said no and tried to defy him is Trapper.
Yeah, as far as I know, everyone else is relatively chill. That's why Trapper looks like a fucking. That's why Trapper looks like that, because fucking the enemy just keeps beating his ass like a drum.
Isn't that the kind of reason why it's just like you're supposed to put him on meat hooks instead of mooring him? Because it makes the entity unhappy if you moor him.
Yeah, the enemy doesn't like them dying. It wants them to suffer, I guess.
Or it wants their soul.
No, because well, I mean, the loop is canon. Canonically, these people are stuck in multiple games. Canonically, so because when you break and you don't participate anymore, the enemy doesn't get your soul. You just get stuck in this fucking wasteland area where people just forget who they are in their existence. The enemy just wants them to suffer.
Hold up a sec. I'm gonna restart my console. This is fucking stupid.
So you tell me every time they
Poor
make it out of an exit gate or they find a hatch that they just drop into another level.
The people who are still in the games are the ones who haven't given up yet. Because killers can give up too. It's not just survivors. There are killers who have canonically given up. Just not the ones we're playing as. How powerful is Dead by Daylight Nicolas Cage? I don't think his kit's been revealed yet. But he at least has inaccessible speed.
He's the only survivor that can actually go up to a killer and give them the penance there.
I kind of wish he was the killer though.
You know, knowing him, they probably could have hired him and he would have done custom voice lines. He would have had a hell of a time with it.
Would have been like, not the bees, not the
Now,
bees.
now, hear me out. Hear me out. Secret limited time Christmas killer, the Grinch.
That'd be cool.
All right, I restarted my console. We're back up.
All right.
And the loading screens are
The Grinch
fast.
the ruined Christmas and you.
By the way, Zim, are the outfits canon? I believe the outfits are canon because actually yes they are because Chris and Claire appear in the trailer for the DBD Resident Evil one and their skins. So they have to be canon. So since when Dante doesn't resist water pressure? Well, no. So the thing is that in DMC one, Dante will have sections where he can't breathe underwater, but then he'll have other sections he can. It's not that he can't resist water pressure. It's just that it's inconsistent as whether or not he can breathe underwater. However, I'd say it's more consistent he can breathe underwater because I believe in DMC two you don't have oxygen issues.
There's no oxygen issue in DMC one.
In DMC1's example, it's not an oxygen issue. It's just that area specifically drains your life. Whereas all the normal swimming sections, Dante's not affected.
because don't you lose life in the single player boat sections?
No.
No.
Oh,
You don't lose life when you're underwater in those sections. You only lose it in the underground area. And how you play the section isn't actually the same thing as the water section. You're playing in a 3D mode, whereas all the other ones are shot in first person.
then what?
And the only other place you lose health is when you're going across the bridge and you fall into the water, but that's because you're also being drained by the Sargasso.
Oh, all right, that's fair.
Well, that's what I'm referring to. In the guidebook specifically confirms your life is being drained.
DMC2 Dante doesn't
It
go
has nothing to
underwater.
do with the
You're right.
oxygen.
Only the Chad Lucia does. Anyways, so then why is Hunk a killer? What's supernatural about him? Not all the killers are supernatural by nature. Legion, the killer Hunk is a
not
part of.
supernatural.
What?
The Legion isn't supernatural. It's just a group of four teenagers.
It's really just a group of 4 assholes being assholes.
Like in their trailer. So technically, when you fight one Legion in a Dead by Daylight game, that's canonically inaccurate. If that was supposed to be realistic, anyone who chooses Legion should have to wait for 3 other people to play as Legion, and then you have to escape from 4 different Legions.
Dude, imagine a Killers with Friends where you're just all playing Legion. Bro, that killer would be fucking restricted to only one game mode. You know they wouldn't be played normally.
But it'd be such a fun game mode.
Dude, Dead by Daylight needs to stop being a bunch of fucking pussies and introduce a 2-killer game mode.
Well, haven't people modded the game to have 2 killers and have 8 survivors, and people have had so much fun?
Yeah, because like fucking for some fucking reason they won't let you have fun. They won't design a funner game mode. Although to be clear, I don't think it should be 8 survivors, 2 killers. I think it should be 6 survivors, 2 killers. I think 3v1 is still really hard to manage anyways. Although I guess you could go for like busted killers, like imagine fucking a spirit and a nurse tag team.
Ugh.
Or no, or fucking imagine like a fucking. Well, what other combos can you think of? Maybe like a
What,
trapper hag combo.
like a spirit in a wraith?
That'd be fucking gross. You could have Chainsaw Brothers. You could have a Leatherface and a hillbilly.
That just sounds fucking annoying.
Dude, but those pincher strategies would be fucking crazy. Imagine the hillbilly charges
Oh no,
you.
I just thought of a really fucked one. You could have Pinhead
Alright,
and
tell us.
Freddy.
Pinhead and Freddy, that'd be fucked. Wesker and Nemesis team up. You joke, but Wesker would pair really well with Nemesis because Wesker could throw the survivors into the zombies.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like whatever people Nemesis couldn't catch, Wesker can literally be there to like spear tackle them into the ground and throw them.
Imagine fucking you're running away from Nemesis and Wesker just grabs you and throws you into Nemesis.
I'm using the restroom now.
I haven't had breakfast. I haven't even brushed my teeth. And fucking Mangler's like, I'm gonna use the restroom. For shame. Mangler, hold up. Can you send the scan for his life being drained? Uh, I'll ask him for it later, Jeremy. Or Cypher. Actually, Cypher, just ask him directly so he'll check it later. Because he's gonna leave. He's gonna leave in a bit to go hang out with his cousins from Italy. I don't know why he wants to go talk to his imaginary friends so much, but you know, it is what it is. What's a good team up for Michael?
Ghostface?
No. Are we talking synergy? Or are we talking just like pair up with? Because Ghostface and Michael would be silly. But if we're talking actual pair ups that would be good with Michael, I'm gonna say either Wesker, Trapper, or fucking what's his name? Gunslinger.
Here we
No,
go.
the Knight.
Now.
Oh my god, I forgot that was a killer.
All
the
right.
Knight can just get the boys to get out of hiding, and Michael can just stand there in the middle and just observe everyone.
Cyber, I feel like I have to send you a scan for literally everything that I've ever stated. And while I do have scans for that, it gets a little annoying to have to send like hundreds and hundreds of photos to somebody.
Then maybe you should
Especially
stop
if
saying
it's a photo
shit.
that you can just go and maybe if you just go and check the guidebook that I reference, you'll find the same scan. Because I'm looking at the same stuff that you guys are looking at. I just use my eyeballs. I just get tired of people asking me to source something that is so incredibly easy to find themselves.
Mangler, you know he's only asking because everyone else is gonna deny it.
I know. I'm just saying it would be incredibly easy for him to find it as well. I don't have to be the person that's the supplier of information for every like claim that someone else needs to find. I feel like that's a little bit unreasonable.
Could you at least next time then, if you don't want to send a direct scan, could you at least tell them where it is? Like, can you tell them like if it's in the game or
I'll
not?
tell him exactly where it is. It is in the Mission 3 section of the DMC1 guidebook. Brady Games.
All right, there you go, Cypher. You now have the location.
I can even give you the page number later when I pick it out.
I can give you the page number.
Oh,
Look, Zim, no source.
I can give you an exact visual example of what it fucking looks like.
Meanwhile, SMT guides,
Oh, I need to get out of here.
Too true. So my Fist of the North Star guidebooks haven't mailed yet, and I'm I'm not annoyed because like I already paid for them, so they're mine. But it's like, bro, could you like mail them like soon? I want to get my hands on them so I can get the information.
Brady Games. It's always Brady Games.
Well, not Fist of the North Star. Right, you could have told me about which guidebook. Thanks, by the way. The Universe Kidnapped Your Fist of the North Star guidebooks.
You don't have the Primo, so it would have to be the Brady.
Nah, dude. Like, if I don't know. I was there chilling out this morning because like I had to wake up early for Mangler, and I was there chilling out looking at it. And they claim that Kasumi used Toki's fine style before Toki created it. but I don't think that's accurate at all. Now I gotta reread Blue Sky, which I don't hate Blue Sky. I know a lot of people fucking hate Blue Sky, but I don't personally hate Blue Sky. I think Blue Sky is fine.
I have no problem with Blue Skies either.
DMC2 also has more JP guides, but no one has it. I could probably buy it one of these days, but I don't really think we need more JP guides. I mean, like, what can we honestly find there?
Another 5 statements for alchemy doing things. Another 10 statements that demonic energy can affect space-time.
You're gonna find out. You're gonna find out.
The perfect being above the 10th dimensional fold.
Dude, bro, if they're like Argosax, the first 10th dimensional being in DMC, I'm gonna be like, I fucking
Dude, if they said something like, listen, he's independent of like 2 opposing objects like cause and effect, and I'm like, yeah, that's already covered in his description. How about you tell me something I don't already know? Thank you.
Argosax actually exists outside all the concepts of time, space, and reality.
Dude, the physics in this game are insane.
Unironically, can't we already argue that to some extent?
Oh yeah, we can basically argue that Argosax is metaphysical, which means he's at least 5D by nature. Unless you, well, I don't know. Metaphysical scaling is such a fucking weird thing to talk about.
He would be metaphysical because Malthus can make metaphysical beings.
No. Like, yeah, like, but by default, Argosax is going to be at least 5D because metaphysical beings are technically 5D and normal demons scale above metaphysical beings, which means that you can argue demons are 6D. But then if you argue that, then Argosax is actually 7D because Argosax transcends all living things. And then if we argue that, hang on, I'm not done yet with the scaling chain. Shut the fuck up and let me finish. Wait. Hang on a minute. Wait, hang on a minute. That might get 90 on its own.
I'm trying to explain, or I'm trying to figure out exactly how I came to the idea that metaphysics were higher dimensional. I mean, it's not the worst argument that anyone has ever said, because I've heard some really bad arguments for how higher dimensionality works.
So I didn't really care about this. It was when I was watching that one guy's video for Kratos versus the DMC DMC demons. But metaphysic in general is just refers to what is beyond the physical or observable world, such as the nature of reality, being, and causality.
So you can just refer to that. That would more so be referring to, like, I would say, a conceptual nature.
Okay, so the problem is that by the very nature of what metaphysical means, you would technically be 5D if your world is 4D. Now, keep in mind, that's assuming DMC has a 4D world.
If the statement metaphysical is referring to the world, you could probably argue.
No. It's just their property. They're just metaphysical. So they're outside of like they're outside of everything within the physical world. They're beyond it. I think we need
context to assert that.
Well, the problem is that yes and no, because by metaphysical's very definition, it's beyond the physical world at bare minimum. So they would have to be beyond at least the human world or the demon world. I'm gonna say demon because you're in the demon world.
Well, demons in general are beyond the demon
world. But here's the problem.
Here's
the problem. If these metaphysical creatures are, let's say 5D, let's say the demon world is 5D, the demons they're a part of are stronger than them, or that they represent are stronger than them. So they're technically, so demons are 5D.
Hey, dude, get back in the chopper.
No.
Get back in the chopper. Sorry.
DMC5 art book where? Mangler has it. I haven't bought my own copy yet, but I really should buy it.
Oh, we got a heli?
Just for collector's purposes.
Oh.
There's the only other guidebooks I'm planning to buy this year are the Borderlands guidebook, and I might buy the Azura's Wrath guidebook since apparently no one can find that anywhere.
Oh. Actually, in happy news, I found the Brutal Legend guidebook free online.
Oh, sweet. Anything good in it, or have you not
read it? You say no
yet?
one can find it anywhere?
I'll let you know when I read it.
All right. What was that?
You can easily find a copy on Amazon for no money at all. More like nobody can bother to buy it.
No, the guidebook costs money on Amazon.
No. It's just not that much money, from what I remember. It was like what, $20 or something.
Here, let me take a look. What
Well,
about you get?
Zim has to get that. He also has to get the Wreck of the Ragnarok one, which I'm gonna chip in for the help.
Oh yeah, YouTube
Yes,
paid
I
me
have a
this.
winch.
YouTube
No.
paid me this month, so I could like buy that right now. Actually,
Imagine if it has a description for the fist that passes time, and it's more impressive than just stopping time. It erases time for all that. It erases time.
bruh.
Then you
Does
just
it erase
argue,
time, or does it
well, it's obviously
merely
not erasing
erase
time, it's
the
just
perception of
perspective.
it?
It's just perception.
I can see if the hentai boys can save you guys. Oh, dude, check and see if you can find a Record of Ragnarok Japanese guidebook. We don't need it translated. We just need the Japanese.
Why?
I'll translate it myself.
Why in the hell? Why in the hell is everything on a hentai website? What's wrong with you fuckers?
Because when God created the world on the 8th day, He created the hentai websites.
And for some reason,
Yeah, and
everyone
apparently
all
you
of the
created a
guidebooks
mandate
to
that
hentai
all
websites.
obscure Japanese guidebooks need to be on that website too, so that they can't be found anywhere else.
Just
Like,
doing God's
And
work.
thus thou proclaimed, thou shalt thap and learn at the same time.
I've had a legitimate discussion with like some of my Christian friends where they're like, porn's bad because you're coveting your neighbor's goods, but I'm like, but hentai is coveting no one's goods, therefore hentai is okay. Can copyright hentai Mangler? You can, but by copyrighting it, you are officially claiming it's canon. That's actually one
this
of
is
the fun.
technically true.
That's actually
Unfortunately.
that's one of the things about Meat Canyon that's really funny about it is Meat Canyon made a video where Bugs Bunny rapes the bald guy. It's a really dark cartoon, but it was copyrighted.
Was it copyright claim or struck?
I believe it was copyright struck. It's not up anymore. It was copyrighted. Like they sent him a cease and desist and copyrighted it.
I think it has to be claimed. Because if it's struck, then that means they just don't want anything associated
A
with the
copyright
product.
claim is where they keep it up. So let me explain. When you get
Yes.
copyright claimed, because I get copyright claimed every time Kyle streams, it's them saying that it's mine, but we're gonna let you keep it up anyways because we don't mind it being up. A copyright strike or takedown is it's ours. We don't want it staying up.
Well, I'd assume the claim would still count.
And we just
because
got the
they're
scan.
technically like,
Good job, Cypher.
we're verifying that. Oh. That's certainly what happened with Angry Marines for Warhammer 40k. Somebody, I think, made a funny skit with some of the Space Marine chapters with Angry Marines, and then Gamers Workshop was like, "Nah, we're claiming that shit," and they're just like, "Angry Marines are canon now."
Yeah, no. If it's copyrighted, it's canon technically, which is really silly. I think that's part of the reason why companies won't copyright hentai or try and take it down because, like, I don't think you want to talk about how your entire IP also includes this one IP of a girl being raped, gangbanged to death. Doesn't look good when you're selling it. So does this mean that Bugs raping that bald dude is canon? Bugs Bunny is quite the trickster. I guess one day he decided to play a little bit of a harsher trick.
Maybe something just snapped inside that little head of his.
Now, why you sell those stuff, Zim? I don't sell anything like that. I don't know what you're talking about.
He loomed over and he said, "What's up, Doc?"
Time for your unapproved prostate exam.
Terrible.
Prostate exams are not fun. But yeah, no. So fuck. I had to do my homework today. I gotta wash my dishes. I gotta cook food for the weekend, which is just cooking white rice and then heating up some chicken nuggets in the oven. I really should just bite the bullet and buy raw chicken. I'm pretty sure, like, well, I just score it and like cook it in the oven.
Yeah, just get some chicken breast and put it in the oven for about an hour and flip, flip every 30 minutes.
I have to leave in about 30 minutes.
I
And
know.
then I gotta do some other things.
Yeah, because I've been thinking like I could probably eat healthier even further if I just stop buying chicken nuggets and fried like breaded fish to cook in the oven and I just cook the actual stuff in the oven. The problem is that fish has been turning out kind of badly in the oven for some reason. I don't know why. It's just started being inconsistent after a while. Although maybe I should just buy a fish that's not tilapia for a change. You looking like a double wide surprise. What the fuck? Learn how it cooks him. Season it first though. I don't really care for seasoning. Well actually yeah, tilapia is bad. I think I'll buy some salmon and try cooking salmon in the oven again. I'll buy some freezer salmon and try that again. Cause like I kind of it's like yes, salmon is good. Tilapia is not bad. It's just that tilapia started coming out too inconsistent in its cooking for me. That's why I stopped buying it. I used to eat tilapia like every day for like 2 years. I was fine with it. It's just that fucking one day out of nowhere, my cooking techniques just stopped working on it. It just started coming out gross as fuck. I don't know if I was undercooking or overcooking it. I don't know if the tilapia just went bad, but like I just like fucking abandoned tilapia for a while. Oh, actually, wait, can I cook shrimp in the oven? Maybe I'll buy shrimp.
You can, but I think you'd find it would be nicer if you had it crumbed and deep fried than in the oven. It has a weird texture when it's in the oven.
Well, I don't fry foods. Like I mean, I have an air fryer. Can I crumb an air fry? Oh, I was just thinking about making tempura food. Actually, I was thinking about buying a tempura box and trying that out for the first time. But I had to fry that shit, don't I?
You can put it in the oven, but it usually comes out better fried.
Isn't like everything always better fried? Tilapia is
Either
farm
that or
raised,
grilled.
average Japanese plot. That's not ideal for fish. You need caught fish. Why did that comment come out twice? No idea. Anyways, I've started watching a visual novel. It's been going well so far. That's pretty nice. You need a pan-seared salmon. Who would you rather date, Melina, or Jury? I don't know who Jury is.
That weird psycho chick from Street Fighter.
Probably her. I think if she gives me a blowjob, it won't like chop my dick off like putting it in a cheese grater. You can eat it medium rare. I fucking hate salmon that's medium rare. It's fucking gross. I like my salmon well done. That's why I was thinking about putting it in the oven. Because the oven will cook things through. I don't like raw stuff on my food.
I'm not gonna take this guy alive.
The other option is I just buy a bunch of hamburger patties and just start cooking hamburger patties. Which I mean, I can do that. I have a grill. To be fair, baking food is kind of the healthiest way to cook things. That or a foreman grill. Yeah, I got a grill that just like puts all the fat
Oh,
down.
I gotta go verify the clubs, but that is an APC down there, and I'd rather not die.
Well, things like the other reason I want to do oven is because like it's really hard to fuck up an oven, like cooking in an oven. Like I'm pretty sure if I grab a raw chicken breast and I just score it or cut it into like pieces and put that in the oven, maybe season it a little bit with some like pepper, salt. What do you season with? You know, the things you season with. Like I'm pretty sure it'll just cook out just fine. Or I could just like put it in a. I guess I could pan fry it, but I'd rather cut it down to little pieces. So I'm gonna pan fry it because like yeah, no, I don't know. Because like it is cost effective to buy the pre-breaded food because it's not that expensive. Like I can buy a pack of I want to say 30 or 28 chicken patties for $10. At two chicken patties a day, that's 14 meals for $10. That's incredibly good value. I'd say Melina is not really as bad as Jury. Yeah, but her mouth, her teeth, like you can't even kiss that. It's literally all teeth.
Literally, what you're just conceding to me is that if you're like, oh, but Melina, it's like, okay, so you'd rather fuck Baraka in a wig.
I think that's question 4, but do you guys eat pork? I do not. Kyle loves it.
I do.
And Mangler also apparently eats it as well.
Man, the sniper rifle is just excellent.
I think I'll go to my local fish market and just buy some fish clean there. I think that might help me out. I think that might be a good idea. Cause that way I can like get. Cause I don't know. Cause the problem with oven cooking is you have to know what the weight is to properly cook it. I'd say Melina has much better personality. Yeah, but like, well, they're both have bad
Does she have a
personalities.
personality? Isn't her personality just I'm Shao Kahn's child? I'm Shao Kahn's child, therefore I am the Empress.
You don't have to do her like that, dude. There was no reason you had to go that hard on her. I'll be back in a second, guys. You two keep them entertained.
There's a lot of APCs over here. Oh, okay, there we go. I think I have enough money. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, what? That guy was 100,000, but I'm fine with 50,000. I have more than enough money at this point. Oh shit. Sniper rifles in this game really are one step away from being extremely busted. They're definitely overpowered. They just sweep infantry like across the line from a distance. You can take out turret placements, guards, uh, heavy troops or demo troops. Basically, you can take out everything that isn't a vehicle. Actually, no, you can take out light vehicles too. There is too much destruction in this game.
Nonsense. Never enough destruction.
I suppose it wouldn't be aptly named if it wasn't. It is Mercenaries' playground of destruction. You were intended to blow up as much stuff as possible any way you like,
Actually,
and as little or as much as you like.
that just reminded me. Zim, on stream, why don't you play the Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction?
Don't own it.
You
Is
kept
that a
the
piracy
PS2?
game?
What?
Anti-nerds have failed me.
Damn.
It sounds unfortunate.
This is beyond even their power. Holy shit. And it's in Japanese. You'd think they would have it. I've had pork a few times in my life. Like, I don't mind the occasional hot dog and ham, although I prefer turkey ham over pork ham. I have not played Fallen Order. Mangler, have you played Fallen Order?
No.
Kyle, have you played Fallen Order?
What's that?
New Star Wars game.
No. Why would I play the new Star Wars game?
So none of us have played it, CD.
Those two are the Star Wars people. I don't touch Star Wars.
Wow.
Like, you want me to lie to them?
No. Just wow. Oh yeah. I was watching a Witcher stream yesterday. That game's pretty crazy.
What's that?
I was watching a Witcher stream yesterday. The game's a lot crazier than I thought it was.
Yes.
It's pretty whack.
Yes.
How far are you through the game?
Like, maybe a quarter.
Oh, no, my bad. He's not asking us if we played the new one. He's asking if we played the original one. The one in 2019. Well, Kyle didn't play because he didn't play Star Wars games. Did you play the first one,
I
Mangler?
played a little bit of it.
Oh, yeah. I remember trying the first one. Because technically Alan bought it for me. I didn't really have much fun with it.
Wasn't
No,
really
he
that
bought
interested,
Jedi
to be
Survivor for you, the Xbox, like the old ones, right? He didn't buy the new one for you? Or did he buy the new one for you?
Yeah, the one with the ginger.
He bought that for you?
Technically.
Why? That wasn't even the
Because
game
he
he was
wanted me,
repping.
because he wanted me to get into Star Wars, and he thought that would be a good game to start me with.
No. A better game to get you into Star Wars would be the PS2 games.
How about we just break even and I just have dumb fun and just do Lego?
I mean, that works too.
Yep, that works too.
No, like people, a lot of people got into Star Wars. A lot of people got into like Batman and even Marvel to the Lego games. People got into Indiana Jones to the Lego games.
You know, it would actually be kind of cursed. Lego DMC.
I'd play it.
What the fuck would that look like?
I want to download the mod, and Mangler, you'll appreciate this. I want to download the mod for Star Wars Battlefront 2 that changes the entire game into a Lego game.
I mean, maybe I could put maybe.
Lego Star Wars Battlefront 2. Perfect. Actually, that reminds me. Regarding the earlier notes about Record of Ragnarok, I'm still kind of planning to do my silly little versus matchups there. I have to decide if I want to use Baki characters or Fist of the North Star characters.
Wait, are those tanks? Oh, baby. Oh.
If you do Baki, I can collab with you on that.
So it's like the thing about the matchups is like I don't know because like I don't want to pick people who would counter people. I want to pick people who would actually like be thematically picked for the matchup currently.
So would you do the humans or the gods first?
So it would be the gods first versus the humans of Baki, and like for the first matchup, you might disagree with me on this one because they're supposed to be the vanguards of their sides. I think it would be Dopo Orochi versus Thor because
That
he seems
sounds
like the
kind
guy.
of that sounds raw.
He seems like the kind of guy who'd go first.
That sounds very, very raw. I'm not gonna lie.
Orochi's techniques versus Thor's essential hammer.
So we both basically agree it would basically be Zeus versus Yujiro.
Yeah, but I think because Yujiro would just be like, "Oh, he's strong. I want to fight him." That might be the most interesting one. Well, actually, I don't know. I think Orochi, like, so the way this would work is I would just say they get Volan so they can actually fight the gods, just become comparable, you know? I mean, I guess I could just say they're as comparable to the character as who they're replacing, because all the fighters, as far as I know, are all comparable to each other, with the exception of maybe Hercules and Jack the Ripper.
Which is kind of funny because he scales higher than most of the other ones in terms of durability.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a sec.
All right. I played it in the sequel. If you want to know about Jedi Survivor, it does everything Fallen Order did better. Combat customization. Yeah, I heard it's a really great sequel.
I'm on such good terms with the Chinese. They don't care if I'm in disguise in their bases. They just let me in because I'm just a bro like that.
Not wrong. In your personal opinion, which faction would you side with in this game?
For what reason? Like who I would choose personally, or well, okay, who I would choose as like who I am, or whoever I think's like the most effective.
Whoever you think's the most effective.
God, I'd have to remember. I think the Chinese have like the best fucking artillery, and then like good medical stuff. But the Allies are kind of like they have the best presence everywhere. They also have a lot of helicopters. They have the best tanks, best recon. Also, killing them causes you to lose money, though nobody's technically against them. The thing is that you don't really get like multiple different faction endings. They're just factions that go against one another, and you have to basically do all their missions. And you can essentially kill them or be against them as much as you like, but you have to do their missions to continue the campaign, even if the factions war against one another. It's just a matter of how much you want to piss off one faction or another. So, oh my god.
Yeah, you can make a lightsaber look like it's made out of wood. That's pretty cool.
That was not a tricky job in the slightest, Fiona. I just strolled straight in and took their shit. And they couldn't do anything to me. Then there's also the Russian Moth, and the Russian Moth basically owns the store in this game. The website you go to, which is called Merchant of Menace, is owned directly by their organization, and it's how you have all supplies airlifted to you. If you get them in a hostile capacity, you will not be able to use the merchant shop. Which you can't play the game without the Merchant of Menace, but obviously there's a very big difference between going into a hostile area, especially loaded with like North Korean like machine guns, air superiority and stuff like that, and not having backup, and a scenario where you walk in there and you have the ability to drop bunker busters on people for like pocket change.
Sounds amazing.
There's a lot of well, you can drop every single type of airstrike possible. I think you have surgical strikes, you have artillery strikes, cluster bombs, artillery barrages, stealth force strikes, bunker busters. I think you basically, in Mercenaries 2, there's a mission where you're trying to get into a bunker. You use a bunker buster after a surgical strike, and Fiona's like, yeah, that's a reinforced bunker. I can't believe I'm saying this, but if you want to get into that bunker, you're going to need a nuclear weapon. And Matthias is like, you think you're telling me I need a nuclear bunker buster to get into this thing? He's like, yeah, no, come back to HQ. We'll see what we can spruce up. And I'm like, you don't just spruce up a nuclear bunker buster. I'm pretty sure even PMCs don't have access to that kind of payload.
All right, I'm back.
Nah, they just call him Kenshiro.
Actually, Zim, you I don't know if you'll agree with this, but if you're doing the Bucky versus Ragnarok characters, I don't think you'll disagree with doing Zero versus Pickle.
Zero versus Pickle? That could work.
Because you could have them both starting out in base, and then once Zero loses control of himself and goes into Hajun, Pickle can transform it into his true power.
This will be the last mission I think I do. And then it'll be time to head out.
Yeah, time for you to go hang out with your imaginary friends, I know.
They're my family, you moron!
You're right, imaginary family. My apologies.
Ew, who spends time with family? Be a Chad and spend time with friends instead.
Is that not what I'm doing right now?
But no, so hang on.
Loser.
So, the matchups I'm struggling to think of off the top of my head for the gods are who's going to be Poseidon's matchup and probably who's going to be Hades' matchup as well. Those two I'm not too sure on. Because I think
So you're going to hate who should go up against Poseidon because I don't even think it's going to be close. But it has to be Karu.
Who?
Do you remember the doctor in that Baki fight where he beat his brother who was the cord cutter?
No, I don't remember that, but fuck. Fuck. If you actually have a matchup that's more than what I have, I was struggling because the only person who I could think Poseidon, like, it's just Uchiro, like, because they share the same personality. They look down on everybody. But if I don't put Uchiro up against Zeus, I have to put Baki up against Zeus, but that doesn't seem very thematical. Madvocate just made a Flash Season 4 video. I have no idea what that is.
I think the hard ones are going to be Hercules is going to be hard, and maybe Hades.
Okay, so hear me out on Hercules. I'm thinking just for the strength thing, Olivia versus Hercules.
Oh, that's raw.
Basically, what's gonna win, the ball versus fucking Hercules' strength?
If we start doing this, when we start talking about them, can we just have on screen just flash up custom thumbnails that Newen does for the fights?
Yeah, I can wish I could commission custom thumbnails for it. I'm sure Newen wouldn't mind drawing something a little easier every now and again. Yeah, no, so I'm thinking of that one for Hercules. So Shiva is a little weird. I think Shiva's the next one. I'm thinking of putting him up against the old man. The one who does Akiko. I feel like that's what?
Ooh,
Because if
that
it's
wouldn't be bad.
it's either that or I have to go with sumo for because obviously they brought a sumo fighter in the first time. We could just bring in the new guy. But I don't know. I feel like the old man fits a little better because it kind of reflects like when Zeus beat him. So it'd be giving him sort of like a chance to fight, another old timer. Kind of a little thematic there.
It's kind of sad that like when you go through it, Baki's probably not going to get fight. Jack really doesn't have anyone.
Well, let me think. Who's yeah, so we're not doing Buddha, we're doing Zero. Pickle's fighting against Zero, and then the one after that is Beelzebub. We could do Jack for Beelzebub. They're not like Jack's not smart, but he is basically a human experiment at this point. Could do like sort of like an experiment versus creator situation. Like not all these are gonna be winners, okay? Look at Mangler just wasting millions of taxpayers' dollars on a simple fucking airstrike. The other option I could think, I don't know. I just don't think Hades has any matchups like because there's not a lot of a royalty thing going on in Baki in general.
I guess if you want to loosely connect it to like sports royalty, you could do Muhammad Ali Jr.
So what? Just give a free win to the gods? Well, actually, hang on a minute. Yeah, I don't think he demonstrates any good fighting feats, does he? Because he doesn't even fight the main. Well, no, he beats Dopo Orochi in a fight, and he also beats the old man in a fight. Technically,
He basically beats most of them in a fight when he's healthy, and then they come back when he's injured, and then they fuck him up. Because they only come back to fuck him up after he's been fucked up by Jack.
there's no matchups for Jack. Ah. I mean, I could technically, well, no, it's like I could do Baki versus Shiva because technically, like younger, powerful individuals. No, I just realized there's no matchup for Musashi currently. Oh, hang on a minute.
Not until the humans come.
No, hang on a minute. I could do Musashi versus Poseidon. They both look down on everybody around them, and they both think they're superior, basically because of when they were born.
Yeah, but that's just the opposite match of like Sasaki Kojiro.
But the personalities fit so well.
Well, I say that the doctor from Baki because he believes that he has the ultimate body, he's the ultimate fighter, and that he studied for so long that he looks down upon all other fighters that don't follow a strict regime.
That's good enough for me. All right, where his fights at?
He fights in the first tournament against Baki.
Does he have any feats beyond? He doesn't fight after that, does he? I don't think I've ever seen him fight.
I think he might in the criminal arc.
So it's just early Baki then?
Actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea to see if we can find a matchup for the most heinous criminals. It's just against another team.
Not a bad idea to take a look at. Anyway, so I've been tagging the guy to argue with him about the water pressure stuff, but he is not responding, to be fair. I had some sort of beef with him, but I thought we were good after that. Yeah, unless they tell you you're good, never assume that you're good with somebody. Because you have no idea how people, like, interpret their positions. Mangler, you're muted. Yeah, so once Mangler leaves the stream, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to immediately put some clothes to wash, clean my kitchen, wash my dishes, do my college homework, which I think will take me 30 minutes or so, and then cook dinner, move on my day. I'm going to try and spend 3 to 4 hours on another
Crap, I
side.
can't get up there.
Oh, okay, there he is.
Okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm dropping a stealth bomber on his ass.
And there go millions more.
Actually, it was only a couple 100,000. And only that one cost me something. The rest of them are free.
They're free to you as a player. They're not free to the government. God,
Only the
that
government
reminds
of South
me.
Korea.
I fucking hated the fact that in Metal Gear Solid 5, whenever you needed a new fucking silencer, you had to order a supply drop that costed like, I think like fucking $5,000 until you leveled it up.
Hey,
I need to buy a surgical strike.
speaking of what we were talking about, they've announced who's going to be playing Dragon. So apparently Dragon is appearing.
Oh, who's playing him?
I'll send you the photo.
Oh yeah, Kyle, would you like to try the One Piece card game? There's like a free simulator where you can play like all the cards for free and everything.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll say if you're ever curious about trying it out, just let me know. I can just send you like the link.
Yeah, tell me what you think.
Hmm.
It's not a bad casting. I think they got. I think you know it. I think you know the prominent noses there, the facial structures. What?
I think my problem is that, like, could you not have found someone who looks a little bit more rugged?
That I think is where I'm kind of
maybe
like, yeah.
makeup will fix that.
Well,
I was
okay,
gonna say, like, maybe makeup will fix it.
so maybe like that's just his like actor profile picture, but maybe like in the actual movie or in the actual show, they'll give him a bit of a like a scraggly beard. You know how like Dragon has that little chin beard at the bottom and the tattoo.
Mm.
I think if once he gets a tattoo, he'll look a lot better. Anyways, Mangler, you were saying?
Oh, sorry. I was checking the stream, but I don't remember what was. I jumped away from it for a sec.
Since he replied me with no hard feelings, by the way, to be fair, he was kind of stupid with his takes, like saying that the Elder Scrolls is just Union, that Dante's country level, even though he thinks Kratos is cosmic level. Wait. This one I never understood. How can you argue for Kratos being like cosmic level but not Dante? They have literally the same feats almost, or the same quote unquote feats.
Except one's way better than the other.
No, like if anyone argues a hack and slash is universal, but will like flat out say like DMC isn't for whatever fucking reason, that's like just a fucking moron. Like there's no real substantial difference here. Your evidence is not better than mine, or vice versa. Well, again, the case of God of War is a little more complicated.
It's not complicated. They're just not.
Oh, there's Mr. Neutral. How could I forget? Your neutrality just shines through like always.
Well, when you find all the evidence, you have to go with facts.
Bruh. Well, English, are you taking off right now, right?
Yeah.
Why do you sound tired? Aren't you gonna be hanging out with your cousins?
Yeah, that's why I sound tired. It's going to be a long night.
He doesn't even want to go. All right. Well, yeah, we'll just end the stream here so we don't have too much beyond that point. Okay, so regarding this week, there will be no stream tomorrow because I'd rather work on the other side video than stream by myself. If I get Dead by Daylight, it sounds like Devil will be willing to play on Sunday, and I don't know if Kyle would because Kyle, I believe, starts work on our Sunday. Um, Devil should be back to streaming on Monday unless he falls asleep again. He was supposed to stream last Monday, but he fell asleep. Kyle will be streaming again like normal. And Mangler's streaming this early. Yeah, he's gotta go talk to his cousins. He's gotta go spend time with family. Can you believe him? How selfish. He's already left. He's not even here anymore. So yeah. I'm gonna try and put pedal to the metal and see if I can't get the other side video more or less done by next week. Because I'd like to just move on to other shit. But I'm gonna need Kyle and Mangler to review, or at least I need someone to review the video. I don't care who it is at this point. I just need someone to review it to make sure it's fine. It doesn't seem chopped. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna fucking read it too much of it. Yeah, I just need someone to double check it because there were typos in my script for the AI where she was supposed to say physiology. She says psychology, and I'm like, damn, would have been nice if someone would have double checked this so they could have seen that I used the wrong fucking word. Very amusing, though. Very amusing. So, yeah, no. That'll be about it. Ideally, I'll get the RSA video out then. I might tonight, just to get a video out this week, or make a quick Fist of the North Star video, because I already have all the information done. I just have to do a quick little 5-minute edit to it, and it'll be good to go. Yeah, no. That's about it. Beyond that, normal streams. My streams won't be up. And yeah, thank you guys for your time as always. Have a nice day. I'll see you guys on the next stream or video.